Press pause, put the controller down. It's time to talk about the gaming industry. My name is TJ Leo.
And I'm Andrew. And like I said, I'm not going to throw you off this time.
You tried, kind of.
Well,
sort of.
I just told you I'm not going to do it.
It probably would have worked this week, because I am...
Yeah, you're tired.
I am very tired.
As am I. Very tired.
Yeah.
I've been getting tired on Fridays these last few weeks, which is bad because that's when we record the show.
This is true. For this part of the year, we might have to switch our recording dates.
Yeah.
This is episode 22 of Press Pause, a gaming podcast. How are you, my friend? Besides tired.
Besides tired, getting stuff done. I think that's part of what the tiredness is from. Is I seem to go periods of where I've got really nothing on my plate, and then suddenly I've got several things on my plate. But I'm working through them slowly but surely.
Hashtag adult life.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I'm unusually tired. These long days, or these short days, I should say, suck.
Yeah.
And I went to my first chiropractic appointment today. And that was a unique experience.
Yeah, I actually also... It just so happens I went to a clinic and talked to the doctor there about my back.
Yeah.
But my mom has opinions on chiropractors. Yeah,
they're considered alternative medicine, so...
Yeah, well, especially because my mom's a doctor.
Yeah. I can totally understand that.
Yeah.
I do feel better after going. There's a lot of work to do, though. They did x-rays and all that stuff, and my upper back is like way over to the right.
Oh, yeah.
And the top of my neck is over to the left for some reason, and then my hips are out of alignment. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. You're like S-shaped.
I haven't seen the x-rays yet. They're going to go over those with me next week. But I'm not... I'm not in good shape, apparently.
Yeah.
And I'm also...
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say I'm also... I put 5 pounds more pressure on my right foot than my left foot because of all the issues.
Yeah,
which is also not good.
That's the thing that tends to happen. Like whatever hand you favor is also whatever foot you favor.
Yeah, usually not by 5 pounds though. Apparently.
No.
Yeah, I'm practically leaning at this point.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that does. I feel they told me I was going to be super sore, and I'm not. I'm good. But I definitely feel tired, like exhausted. Like there was like a pressure release.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say about chiropractors is they do make you feel better in the moment, but it's not really a long-term solution. It's like, oh, if there's a spot that they need to push and it's like, oh, that feels better. It's like, okay, that's great for now, but that doesn't solve the problem.
No, you basically have to go every week in order for it to
or
be a thing.
You go to a physiotherapist and you learn the stretches that you need to do, and then you don't have to pay for a chiropractor every week.
That's true. That's very true. But yeah, otherwise my week was pretty good. We did a special edition of Wrestling Renaissance yesterday. Got that up and running. That was a lot of fun. Had a special guest on the show. That's always fun to do. And we'll get to what I'm playing shortly. But before then, let's get to housekeeping. As always, a reminder, we are on Spotify if you want the audio-only edition of Press Pause a Gaming Podcast.
Which is apparently paying artists even less now.
Oh, cool. Sweet.
Yeah, so also fuck you, Spotify.
Yeah. Well, we might have to find a new audio-only platform at some point.
It sucks when it's like the most viable game in town is also
the worst,
horribly unethical. It's like buying from Amazon. You know that they're an evil empire, but like, how else are you going to get half the shit that you want?
Yeah,
like they don't carry most of that stuff. Like anything beyond general goods, like you're not going to find that stuff in just any store.
No, they have a lot of stuff that you just can't find.
Yeah.
Not only that, but it's usually cheaper. And, having it shipped right to your door instead of having to go out of town to get it if you find it elsewhere, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I get it.
Especially if you have a fulfillment center nearby, like we do.
Mm.
I remember the fastest I got something was like I ordered it in the middle of the night, and when I got home from school, like I got home from class. This is back in college. I got home from class, and it was there on the doorstep. So it was like 12 hours.
Yeah, I think I've had one where I order at like 9 o'clock at night, and it's there first thing in the morning. So
Yeah.
about a 10 to 12 hour return. It's crazy. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. No corrections from last week that I'm aware of,
No.
so we're good there. So let's get into what we're playing. Do you have anything new this week?
Just finishing up Chrono Trigger in
Mm-hmm.
anticipation of Stalker 2.
Mm-hmm. 5 days
I
left.
Yeah, I'm kind of 2 minds about it because on the one hand, I'm doing a lot of shit that I like. I've already talked about the hunting grounds. I also learned that the boxes that are locked by magic, and you need to charge the
Yeah.
pendant. So it turns out, and I did not know this until this playthrough, that if you examine them in 600 AD, but don't open them, and then you go to 1000 AD and open them, whatever's inside, you get an upgraded version of. And the game even tells you that it's upgraded.
Huh.
I had no fucking idea. I knew that you could take the one in the future and then take the one in the past, because I've always been doing that. You get 2 copies of the
Two
item.
copies of it, yeah.
But I did not know about the upgrade thing.
It's a cool
So
idea. They do. There's so many of those like little
yeah,
touches in that game that
yeah.
make it that legendary.
So like now that I'm aware of that, I've been trying to like get absolutely everything, because I kind of like I want to know this game inside and out. The fact that I've missed things, it's like, come on, the game's been around for like 30 years. I want to know everything that's in it, and I want to do everything that's in it. But I'm also at the Black Omen now, and I don't really relish the idea of doing that 3 times.
Mm.
Where you do it in the
It's
present, you,
tough.
you do it in the Middle Ages, and then you do it in the Dark Ages. It's really long, and there's a lot to
It's
do.
really long.
But I've also, like, I've stolen, so, you get those items that boost one of your stats by 1 permanently?
Mm-hmm.
You can steal a lot of those.
Oh, that's cool.
You can steal a lot of those in the Black Omen. And if you can go through it 3 times, like, you will end up with like 30 speed tabs by the end if you do
So you're basically
that.
always going to go first.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it's just it's a matter of just doing that. But other than
Great game.
that, no. Stalker 2 is what's next.
It's on the horizon.
I might have put Wild Arms on my phone.
It's a good game.
Yeah, I never played it, which is why I did it. But then I was doing it. I was like, why am I doing this to myself?
Yeah, you're just going to get...
Why am I doing this?
In 5 days, you're going to be absorbed into Stalker World. As long as the game's good, anyway. We'll see.
Okay, I don't want to be that guy who's like, yes, it'll definitely be good. Because, stuff happens. But I'd rather, based on the footage I've seen.
I've heard it's shaping up.
And I've seen all of the footage. It just looks like the old games, but cranked up in all the right ways. So I can't imagine it being bad.
No. Cool. I have a couple of things to share. Nothing huge.
All right.
Oh, by the way, before we get to that, is your PC gonna run Stalker 2?
Oh yeah.
I saw those requirements.
Yeah, you linked them to me, and I don't have anything to worry about. They're like, we recommend having 16 gigabytes of memory. And I was like, oh, 16, that's adorable.
Oh, how many do you have? 32?
32.
Yeah, nice.
When I upgraded, I said, memory's cheap. Might as well future-proof for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. How much did your gaming rig cost?
It was a lot.
Must have been 2+.
It was getting up to around 2. I forget the exact number, but you have to understand this was during the graphics card shortage.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no way to find like reasonably priced graphics cards. I might have
Yeah.
overpaid. I didn't pay a scalper because fuck that.
No, 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 no.
But it was definitely more than MSRP that I paid for that GPU. But I mean, it's been serving me fine. Also, the case was expensive.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but but
That
the
was
case
that was your choice.
that was my choice. It's
That's a
hilarious.
crazy tower.
Yeah, it's insane, and I'm not one of those, oh, I got to get the gamer tower guys. But I looked at it and I was like, maybe just once. It'll amuse me every time I look at it. And guess what? It does. It looks like
Mm-hmm.
I have a fucking really tall spaceship parked on
Yeah,
my
I was gonna
desk.
say it's definitely
Also,
alien.
it's huge.
Yeah,
Like, I
it's
had to get a
massive.
new case because there is no current graphics card that would fit in my old one. It is
Mm.
not physically possible. So I was like, I might as well just get a fucking huge case. And this satisfies my haha silly case and fucking mess. Like, this thing is made of steel. It's
Yeah, it's
heavy, it's huge, and it's got room for at least, well, assuming they keep increasing its size at the current rate, probably 3 more generations of GPUs.
nice.
But yeah, it's I have a little I bought a little support stand to brace up the other side of the GPU because it's heavier than the motherboard, and
Mm.
I fear that it weighs on the connector. So I have a little support stack in there. Oh man.
Yeah, my future goals for me is to have a PC, a gaming PC that I can just hook up to my television and just
Yeah.
leave it there, and then have a
Yeah.
separate, like, lower power computer or laptop, like I do now,
Yeah. Or
for
or
doing all this stuff.
here's the other thing you do is you get like an HDMI splitter and you send one to a monitor on a desk and the other to your television.
I could. I've always thought about that, but that's a long ass HDMI cable, and I already have like
It
so
is a
many
bit
cables.
lengthy. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's an option, but then I use it twice as often and kill it twice as quickly. You know what I mean?
Eh.
I'd rather have a PC for gaming and a PC for this stuff.
Yeah, like when it comes to work stuff,
Yeah,
like a laptop is probably best because you can just move it around for wherever's comfortable, and then
yeah. I like having a laptop. It's nice.
yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah. So I continued to play Metal Slug Tactics.
hmm
Am I saying that right? I feel drunk. Metal Slug Tactics. Yeah.
yeah,
Talked about. I played the opening mission last
yeah.
week, so I continued to play a little bit, and it's not what I thought it was going to be.
Oh yeah,
So most tactics games are pretty story heavy.
yeah.
This is not story
No,
heavy from what I can tell. Um, it's almost like a roguelite from what I can
interesting.
tell. There's like you choose a mission, and then you're on like a map, and you select where to go, and each way you go gets you a different reward and is a
Okay,
different difficulty.
yeah, all right.
And the maps are randomly generated and all this stuff, so it doesn't feel like a traditional tactics game, in that sense. But what I quickly found out is that I suck at these games, and there's a reason I don't play grid-based
Oh
tactic
yeah.
games. And so I put that one to bed.
Oh
I recommend it though for people who like tactics games and
yeah.
like roguelike type games. Again, I don't know if it's an actual roguelite. It definitely seems that way. I didn't get far enough to be like, oh, if you die, you go back to the beginning, or I don't know the extent of that.
Yeah.
Um, but the first mission that I beat, I got to pick an upgrade,
hmm
like most roguelikes, where you get
Okay.
three things to pick from to enhance your party. And at the beginning, when you choose a mission, you have to select which characters to bring with you, and they all have
Yeah.
different specialties and weapons and stuff like that. So it seems roguelite-y to me. I'm sure there's an end game to it and all that stuff. So I don't know. If you like tactics games, I would say check it out. It's very cool. Amazing art style.
Yeah.
But yeah, grid-based tactics. I I just suck at them. It's just all there is to it, you know. I started Horizon Remastered.
Okay.
And I could definitely say that the upgrade is far more substantial than anyone is probably giving it credit for.
Yeah, I've heard that it's damn good looking.
Yeah, so when I started playing it, I was like, oh, this looks better. It doesn't look as good as Horizon Forbidden West, but it looks way better. But then the longer I've played it, the more I'm picking up on subtleties that
a lot of the little details.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, that wasn't in the original. The biggest change, which took me a while to realize it, I'm shocked that I didn't notice right away, is that in the original game, you know how in like, oh, you don't play Mass Effect. Shit. You played Fallout 4 though, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you know when you're having conversations in Fallout 4, how it's basically just two people statically standing there, talking to each other. There's no real like animation. Okay, Zero Dawn was that way, but to like an extent that was kind of not Sony-like in its presentation.
Wasn't it kind of like Knights of the Old Republic, where they had like a sort of a cinematic camera angle on the speaker?
Yes. Yeah, basically, yeah. And then you get a wheel to pick what you want to talk about, and it goes back and forth. Exactly. They fixed that in Forbidden West, where there's actual animations, and the people are like kind of walking back and forth. They have life to them. Okay. They're not just sitting there speaking.
So there's actual choreography, and there's
actual motion
mannequins.
Capture, and exactly, they're not two mannequins. And they've done that for all of the dialogue in the remaster.
That's a really good change.
That's a huge change. Yeah, it's so subtle because I played Forbidden West last. I didn't play the Zero Dawn last. But when I go back and I think about how different and how lackluster the presentation was in the first one, I'm like, holy shit, they did a lot more to this game than people are giving it credit for. So, it looks great. It sounds great. It plays great. Yeah, it's the definitive way to play Zero Dawn for sure. So I'm enjoying it.
Well, that's good.
I will say Forbidden West is the better game from...
Well, sure, because it's got all the gameplay improvements that they learned from the first one.
They did include some of the gameplay improvements in
they
Zero
sort
Dawn. Yeah, but not everything. Right. Like you have a glider and stuff in the second one,
and that's going to break the first game if they put it
exactly. Yeah. So, but the way combat feels in Zero Dawn feels like it is in Forbidden West. Okay. And in the original Zero Dawn, it kind of felt a little bit slower, I guess is the best way of putting it. A little bit more methodical. Whereas in Forbidden West, it's a little bit more actiony, a little bit more, I don't want to say twitchy, because it's not twitchy, but a little bit quicker.
I've played a little bit of both of those games. It feels like the second one does put a little bit more emphasis and sort of gives you the capability to move around in the midst of battle better. Like climbing up on things, hitting an enemy with one of those harpoons to pin them down, and then getting around them and like anchoring them with another one. Like it seems to be more built around you doing that. Like they give you the maneuverability to do that.
Yeah, better level design in Forbidden West as well. Like battles, most of the battles in Zero Dawn are basically amount to, hide in the bushes, kill as many as you can before you get spotted, and then start shooting.
When I played a little bit of Forbidden West, I ended up pissing off some giant robot dinosaur thing, and I was on a small mesa playing ring around the mulberry bush with it. Trying to stay out of sight while it looked for me, because I was like, oh shit, this is way too big.
I will say Zero Dawn's dodge mechanic is way better than it is in Forbidden West still. They shrunk the distance in Forbidden West that you can dodge.
Okay.
So it never felt like a big enough jump, the dodge, to me. In this game, I'm like, oh yeah, this feels way better as far as dodging goes. So I still like that better. But yeah, I mean, if you liked Horizon, the remaster is definitely the way to play it, for sure. And then 2 demos came out this week on PlayStation both are PC games that are coming to PlayStation that I've been waiting for. So that it was a nice surprise to see 2 demos for 2 games I've been wanting to play for a while that my PC just doesn't run. The first is Forever Skies. This is the way I've always described it is Subnautica, but with a blimp instead of under the sea. You're like above the clouds and exploring. Yeah, Blimpnautica. Yeah. I played 45 minutes and I felt myself getting sucked into it, and I'm like, okay, I need to stop now.
Maybe it would be Blimp Eroica. I don't know. I can't find a way to make that joke clever.
No,
so
it's okay. But I can't wait to play that game. I'm such a sucker for good survival crafting games that have a good UI and are snappy and easy to understand, and you're not spending thousands of hours in menus. That's why I could never get into Ark. Ark's menu system and UI is just it's just terrible. So this gave me Subnautica vibes galore. I didn't even get to do any combat in that 45 minutes, but I was already like, okay, yep, I don't need to play any more of this. I just want the game now. And comes out early 2025, version 1, because it's in early access on PC, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, version 1 comes out early 2025. Cannot wait for that game. That is going to be awesome. That'll tide me over until Subnautica 2. And then the other demo I played was the Thaumaturge, which is already out on PC, and I've been waiting for a console release. And I think it's releasing in December 4th or December 5th, something like that. So not too far away. Mm-hmm, yeah. Have you heard of this game?
No, I don't think so.
So the best way I can describe it is, do you know games like Greedfall?
Only by name.
By name. It's basically a double A. Shit.
Use your words.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It's such a weird genre.
Well, based on the name, it sounds like it's got something to do with magic.
Kind of, yeah. The whole premise of the story is that you are a thaumaturge, and a thaumaturge is basically somebody who can read emotions of other people, and also communicate with. I didn't get really far enough into the story to understand the concept of this, but basically they seem like ghosts that can influence the world.
Poltergeists.
Poltergeists. Basically, they're very creepy looking, but you talk to them. You can't hear what they say. He hears them, I guess, or feels what they're feeling. But you can see them when they appear. And it's turn-based combat.
This already sounds better than the last game with a poltergeist that I played, which incidentally was Poltergeist, based on the movie back on the TRS-80 color computer.
Well, we played Geist.
Oh yeah, okay, that's true. Yeah. That was so the the Poltergeist game on the old 8-bit computer was that was an experience. Well, look, it's hard to make a game out of a movie like that, and there's basically 3 levels. There's going around getting the stuff. Have you seen the movie?
I'm not a horror fan.
Okay, well, there's some crap that they use for stuff. The first level is collecting that. The second is going up the stairs, because there's a scene in the movie where a ghost tries to prevent somebody going upstairs. So turn that into a level. And then the final level is going through the hell portal to get Carol Ann, which is also a thing that happens in the movie.
It's kind of like the Back to the Future NES game where you're just Marty skateboarding and dodging shit.
Yeah.
It's like, well, he likes skateboards. Let's do that.
It looks kind of like the movie. It just, whatever.
I wonder if Angry Video Game Nerd did an episode on it. Seems like something he would
Back to
do.
the Future?
No, your Poltergeist game.
Oh, no, he hasn't.
He definitely did Back to the Future.
Yeah, because I was going to say, he's done a whole bunch on the Back to the Future game adaptations.
Yeah, he did tons. Yeah. But yeah, Thaumaturge, it's a turn-based RPG with a lot of talking. I'm not doing well selling it because I'm not sold on it myself, honestly, after playing it.
Is it like Disco Elysium?
Um, mm, it is in its mood,
Okay.
I would say, but it's not in its gameplay. Like, there's actual combat.
Okay.
There's the combat is like a mixture of you having fist fights with
Yeah.
people, and also the ghost, or I think they call it a Salatur, I think is the name.
Some kind of spirit creature.
Yeah, it helps you as well.
Yeah, that's very different from the battles in Disco Elysium, which are the battling the urge to do drugs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no stats. I mean, there are. I don't know, man. It's very hard to describe, which is probably why they put it in a demo.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend checking out the demo to see if it's for you. It's definitely AA, so don't go in expecting like amazing AAA visuals.
I never go in with any expectations.
Yeah, it's got a cool
with
style.
a few exceptions, which we'll talk about a little bit later.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's got a cool style. It's not like a visually impressive, I would say, but it's got a cool style. The acting is fine. I don't know. It just doesn't do like it doesn't blow me away, you know. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. It was fine.
Yeah, fine is good. Fine is in fact fine.
Yeah, I think the problem was specifically that I played Forever Skies first.
yeah.
That blew my socks off, and I was.
It sucks when you play something like when you've got like, okay, I got 1, 2, and 3 to play, and then the first one you play is just totally your shit, and then the other two, they're not bad, but they're not your shit, and the experience you had with the first one kind of makes the next ones feel worse than they actually are, just by comparison.
Yeah, I might return to it at some point when I'm not.
Give it like some time, palate cleanse, and then come back to it and be like, okay, maybe now I'm getting it, or maybe it's this really definitely isn't. Yeah, it's just not for you.
Yeah, it got good reviews, so maybe it's just not for me, but we'll see. I'll give it another try in the future.
Yeah, I always with stuff like that, I always try to give it. If I'm not 100% sure about it, I try to give it 3 attempts. If it doesn't take on the third, then I'm going, okay, it's just not for me.
In some cases, I've given games way more chances than that, like Witcher 3 and Starfield. I think I've tried to get into Witcher 3 8 or 9 times.
Yeah,
and Starfield probably 4 at this point. So, look who it is.
Yeah,
he's back. I gotta close the door.
Love this dead air.
You could talk.
I could talk, but I didn't want to start on anything else without you here.
Say hello.
No,
nothing.
Never.
No, you don't want to talk. Now you just want to get down. Okay, bye. All right, that's all I've been playing. Nothing crazy. So let's move on. We do not have a letter this week.
Nope.
So we are going to jump straight into the Metacritic Check-In, which is we got quite a few here. Let's start off with. Oh man, this is gonna be painful because my computer has so many tabs open right now.
Yeah,
and now I got to open more.
Yeah.
So the first one is Mirthwood, released on PC. It's got a Metascore currently of 65, but a user score of 83. So a little bit of a mix there. Mm-hmm. Mirthwood is it's kind of seems like it's like Stardew Valley, but with an emphasis on combat. And that the town, from what I can tell, is like, I don't know. I don't necessarily want to say procedurally generated, but
Did we look at a trailer for this once upon a
yeah,
time?
a while back.
Let
Yeah,
me take a look and see if it's the game I'm thinking of.
it's the one that I stated kind of reminded me of Wildermyth. It has a very similar art style. Mirthwood, Mirth Wood.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is the game that I said looked like storybook but super depressing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the reviews here says Mirthwood is an open-ended farming sim with a unique dark fantasy setting.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of looks like gameplay wise, it looks a lot like Don't Starve.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been keeping my eye on it. It looks pretty interesting, but very polarizing so far. So that one might actually run on my PC. I don't know. I'll have to check that out. Next up, Planet Coaster 2. It's out on several different platforms. This is the sequel to the Roller Coaster Tycoon-esque 3D game.
Yeah.
Metascore is sitting at an 80. User score at a 6.1 though for some reason.
Yeah, well, I've seen some discussion on that, and they pretty much people's sentiments seem to echo what you said about it, which is that it's fine, except it's competing against its predecessor, which has all the DLC and stuff. And
very similar to Cities.
Yeah,
Skylines.
where it's and I've seen multiple people say this will probably be great in a few years once it has as much content as the first game.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the curse of releasing a sequel to a game like that, is you're basically starting over.
And you know what? That's why I'm really looking forward to playing Frostpunk 2, because they kind of recognize that. And they're like, you know what?
Carrying forward.
Yeah, we need to make a whole new thing, you know.
Okay.
Same idea. So like in the first Frostpunk, you're starting or you're trying to survive an apocalypse, basically.
Yeah.
From scratch, building up your town until you get to a certain point. In the second one, the city's already made. You're just expanding it, and it's grown to the point where it's not just you are creating a town. It's you are the elected president of the city, and you're having to deal with the politics of the different groups.
Okay.
And so it's basically the scale is up.
Focus. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a bad way of doing it.
No, I can't wait to play Frostpunk 2. I'm stoked. I'm waiting for the console release, because there is definitely no way that's running on my PC.
Yeah.
That's a graphically beautiful game.
Yes. I actually have something to say about the developer later in the show.
Oh, okay. Cool. Mario and Luigi Brothership also released.
Yes.
It's kind of all over the place.
I've seen a lot of different takes on that from different people. I've seen people saying that it's amazing. I've seen people saying, it's not great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of all over the place. The Metascore is at a 79, though. User score at 82. Yeah, so it's doing pretty well on that front. But yeah, like IGN gave it like a 5.
Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I have a...
What was that?
That was my phone going off. The only reason I have it on is because I have an article on it for our news.
Was that like a reminder?
No, that was a fucking... It was one of the ones that says scam call, so it was just somebody trying to sell me some bullshit.
Gotcha. That's fine. It happens. But yeah, I don't know what to think of this game. I haven't played it, and as usual, Nintendo doesn't do demos, so
yeah,
it's definitely not going to be something that I buy, because I'm not paying $90 just to find out that I don't like it. You know?
Yeah, so. And I just, all the Mario RPGs after the original just don't interest me.
Yeah,
like, I'm not saying that they're bad; they're just not my type of game.
I haven't played anything from that series, so I couldn't.
I tried like the original GBA game, and it was like, this is fine, but it feels a lot like Paper Mario, and then it's just not my thing.
Yeah, that's fair. It's showing Slitterhead on here, but I'm pretty sure that we talked about that last week, so I don't know why that's still on here.
Did we bring that up? Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Um, yeah, it's also showing Rise of the Golden Idol, which we also talked about. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, maybe I'm just thinking of no. You know what it is? Uh, I'm confusing it with when we went over all the games of November.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why it's coming up in my brain. Okay, so we didn't talk about Slitterhead. Yeah, because it came out on the day that we did the
Oh, okay.
podcast.
Yeah,
So
that'll yeah.
yeah. So Slitterhead sitting at a 62 Metascore with users at 71. That's pretty much in line with what I've heard. It's
Yeah, I've heard that it's not amazing. It's
no,
it's more
it's
of
an
a
average
good
double
idea
A.
than an actual like good game, which
Yeah,
happens.
I don't know how it's priced. If it's priced, as a mid-tier title, then that's
Hmm.
fine. If they're charging $90 for that, then get out of here. It's, can't do that. Not anymore. Rise of the Golden Idol. This is the sequel to that game. Remember that game I was talking about? The Case of
Yeah,
the Golden Idol. Yeah,
yeah.
where you're trying to figure out who murdered who with a
Hmm.
still image. Um, this one's getting great reviews. 84 Metacritic score. User score 90.
Ooh,
So for
nicely
those of you
done.
who liked the first game, go play it. Seems like people love it. I got to give the first game a chance again. So it was pretty interesting. What do we got next? Tetris Forever is out. That is the Tetris collection. That's all Tetris games from the Tetris company that were developed
Hmm.
by the Tetris company.
Yeah. So
Um,
it doesn't have the NES version. It doesn't have the Game Boy version,
correct.
which
Yeah, they were
people are
developed by Nintendo.
which people are lamenting because those are the most iconic versions of the game. But it's like you're never going to get Nintendo to sign off on those to include on other platforms. So
No. Oh, I have a list here of all the ones it does include. Let's see. So it includes the original Tetris.
yeah,
Um,
for whatever Soviet era computer that was for.
yeah, and then I think it had a couple different sequel versions for that whatever that platform was.
Yeah,
And
like the
then
Electron 60 or
yeah,
whatever.
something funky back then. Tetris 2 plus Bombless. That's the one that I want to play. Super Tetris 2 plus Bombless. Super Tetris 2 plus Bombless Japanese edition. Super Tetris 3, no mention of Bombless. And what else we got? Familus, Magicalus, Tetris Battle Garden, Sparkless, regular Bombless, Hatris.
Yep, that's a game where you match hats.
It's a game. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's it. But yeah, sitting at an 85 on
They
Metacritic.
don't have Weltris in there.
Not that it's showed on the trailer anyway.
I don't actually know if that was a Tetris Company game. Let me
It's a
just
good
check
question.
that real quick. Uh, no, it's not.
There you
It's
go.
Bulletproof Software. Oh wait,
I do have Tetris Forever. Um,
I guess they were. I guess they were. I guess they became part of the Tetris Company. So then that's weird that it's not in there.
yeah,
Um,
it is. I do have it. I just haven't played it yet.
yeah,
Um,
Weltris. For people who are wondering, Weltris is what if you had Tetris, but it was going down. Like it's basically Tetris with like it's basically 3D Tetris, sort of. It's
hmm.
like imagine a Tetris grid, but now imagine there's four of them and they go down like as if you were looking down a well, and the four walls are the
Oh
four
yeah,
Tetris fields. That's
right.
what Weltris is.
That's cool. Yeah, so I'll be able to talk about what I think of the collection next week. Probably, I'll try and
Okay.
play it this week. Next up is Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake,
Mm-hmm.
sitting at 85, with a user score of 71. Not sure what the reason for the lower user score is.
Yeah, that's weird because I've been seeing a lot of praise for it.
Oh, looks like they've made changes that are not sitting well with the users.
Interesting.
Okay, let me read this one real quick. You can never trust users. I mean, sometimes they
Well,
make up,
not implicitly.
No. Let's see what they're saying here. Been playing the PS5 version for over 20 hours and it's crashed 4 times. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
I've also been forced to quit several times. Why? I don't know. I don't know what they mean by that.
I do know that there are some technical limitations on the Switch version, but I don't think that'd be something that people would seriously ding the game for. I mean, it looks better than the NES version, so
right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about there. 3 more games. 2 of them I haven't heard of, but the first one I have. Lego Horizon Adventures. Sitting at a Metacritic 71, user score 65. It's about what I expected, honestly. It's a Lego game.
That's pretty in line with what I've been hearing people say about the game. That it's not really all that interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you've played one Lego game, you've played them all. It's just a different coding, honestly. There are subtle differences, but nothing that's gonna rock the boat. Something on PC called Sorry We're Closed.
Oh yeah, I think that just got released like today or yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah. Sitting at an 84. Don't know what that is though. Oh, it's a survival horror game. Of course it is, because it's on PC. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of those. And then the other one is Great God Grove. Came out today, sitting at a 78.
Yeah, that one I don't know.
I'm not sure what that one is either. Yep, don't know. And that's Metacritic for this week. More updates. So, let's get straight into the news. You got some news for us. You kick things off.
So the first thing I'm going to talk about is not really any specific article, but it is news, and people are talking about it. So, Warcraft 1 and 2 Remastered came out. And they don't look good. They, in fact, look kind of bad.
They look okay. They have a very cartoon art style.
Yeah, but it looks... It doesn't look like they've done a great job of translating that to high resolution.
It looks very similar to StarCraft Remastered, so it doesn't surprise me.
Like, I looked at it, and my first thought was, this looks like some poorly done AI upscales, which when you're dealing with like there are ways to do AI upscaling that look really good, and there are ways to do it that look really bad. But my initial impression was that they'd done it badly. But I think it might just be more a case of that artwork is just too low res to upscale at all. Like you don't have enough information to infer from.
Yeah.
But then I spent more time looking at it, and I think it goes a little bit deeper than that. I think it's a weird combination of of upscaling and then also some redrawing, and maybe some redrawing on the upscales and some redrawing like totally fresh. Because it's not just that it looks bad; it's that it also looks inconsistent. Like if I look at the flame animations for when something explodes, that is really obviously upscaled because you can still see what is essentially pixelization just blown up.
Yeah,
it's really, really obviously upscaled. But then there are some of the tile work on like the environment. It looks decent, like maybe it was redrawn, but then some of it looks really bad and doesn't even like connect up properly, and so you have really obvious seams in the tiling. it looks really inconsistent, and my guess is that maybe it was outsourced or something. I don't have any proof for that, other than that I know Blizzard's got a really, really strong art team, and I can't imagine them putting out anything like that unless maybe they were under really severe deadlines. But like, I don't know why you'd have a deadline for a remaster.
The game that you're shadow dropping.
Yeah, like a 30-year-old game. And also, the Diablo 2 remaster looked immaculate. So
that's true.
It kind of makes me think that it might have been outsourced to, the lowest bidder.
Certainly possible.
It does not look good at all.
I'm sure they'll improve it as time goes on. I mean, they did the same thing with StarCraft Remastered. So,
and they have. That's the other thing, is they've announced that they've patched in some improvements to Warcraft 3 Reforged, and given more graphical options and even the ability to like mix and match new stuff with old stuff, which is
I saw that.
All well and good. I don't see why you have to remove the original game. Just fucking, you know how it is. They just want you to buy it again.
Well.
But yeah, it doesn't look good. It just does not look good. The Warcraft 2 stuff looks a little bit better. I think that's probably because they were working with some slightly higher resolution artwork, but none of it looks great. It looks okay at best, and really blobby and just bad at worst. So yeah, it's not great. I wouldn't say that it's the like GTA Definitive Edition level disaster where like the signs have shit spelled wrong on them. But
they fixed it, but yeah.
Yeah, in fact, I think they just put out a patch for that like last week or something. But it's not good, and it's not what those games deserve. Those games deserve way, way better than that.
Yeah, for sure.
Next thing I have is an article. I got this off of Eurogamer. Apparently, 11-Bit Studios, the people behind Frostpunk, are celebrating the 10th anniversary of This War of Mine with more DLC.
Oh, wow. Game's already packed with DLC.
Packed with DLC. All of it horribly depressing. But if you didn't feel... And again, I know I bring this up, that the game is incredibly depressing. It is about surviving a civil war. It's a really good game.
Yeah, it's super good. Yeah. It's hard, though.
It is hard. But, like, my God, another one? Like, I guess...
The only reason I can think of that they're doing that is because the concurrent player count for that game is still high.
Oh, really?
Or high enough.
Okay.
I have to assume. I'll look it up quickly while you're...
it does say that it is a charity DLC. So this is presumably not free, but at least it's going to charity, I guess. They haven't announced a release date or even a price. But it says all studio proceeds will be donated to its charity partners, War Child, Amnesty International, Liberty Ukraine, and Indie Games Poland, which, yeah, they worked with some of those people before. So, yeah. There's that. And then the other one that I have, which is why I have my phone not turned off, is, and this is from Inverse.com, America's biggest video games union goes on strike.
Yeah, I had that one.
Yeah, so Bethesda.
Yep.
Hundreds of Bethesda video game workers are going on strike across the country. Workers in Maryland and Texas are walking off the job, claiming that the company has failed to address their remote work concerns at the bargaining table and has begun outsourcing quality assurance work without the union's agreement. Ooh, that's bad. You can't do that.
No.
So...
especially given it's owned by Microsoft.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you guys doing?
So it says here, Bethesda's ZeniMax, which Microsoft bought in 2021 for $7.5 billion, has been home to the largest Video Games Union starting in January 2023 and attracting more than 300 QA workers. Oh no, you can't outsource when you got that many people. You got plenty of QA workers. What are you doing outsourcing?
That's a
Well,
good
I know
question.
what they're doing. It's trying to avoid paying them. They're trying to undercut them by taking their their QA work elsewhere.
Yeah.
So the union has been reluctant to share bargaining updates and said that Microsoft has made progress with it on bargaining, but it also said the one-day strike was a necessary step forward, as its requests had gone unanswered, and the union filed an unfair labor complaint against ZeniMax in October. Now, let's see here. There was an update to this article that has a statement. I wish that they had highlighted where that was, because I don't want to read the whole article here.
From Microsoft, or?
It says the story update, November 15th. This story has been updated with details from the redacted unfair labor complaint filed by the union. And they don't have it highlighted anywhere as saying, "Hey, this is the new thing to the article."
Mm.
But yeah, so
Yeah, the only update I got was Microsoft responded, said, "We respect our employees' rights to express their point of view as they have done today. We will continue to listen and address their concerns at the bargaining table."
yeah, which is a fucking
Yeah,
industry
political speak.
ass response.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
it's interesting. Is it the? I think it's the first gaming strike because we really haven't had unions until recently.
yeah.
Oh no, Blizzard had one. They all walked out on that one.
Well,
That for like
I
a
think
week or
I
whatever.
think it's the first one that Microsoft has had under Bethesda's unionization
Yeah,
efforts.
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Um, and it looks like it's just a symbolic one to say, "Hey, we're serious about doing this."
yeah, we're pissed off right now. Yeah,
Yeah,
pay
and
attention.
hopefully that's all it remains. Hopefully, they'll go back to the table and work out a fair deal.
Definitely.
But yeah, I love to see game workers unionize, and get
Stand up
treated.
against the man.
Yeah, because it's a never ending shit show these days.
Especially
With
a company like Microsoft. Like, come
yeah,
on.
you
You,
got
you,
all the money in the world.
yeah,
Fucking, you could give them everything they ask for, and it would cost you like a nothing.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of
Yeah,
annoying.
relative to what's in your coffers, it would cost you nothing.
Yeah, considering you just gave your CEO a $30 million a year boost,
Jesus
I
Christ.
think you can afford to
Yeah, how about you
do a little
spend
bit
that on the
better.
people who actually make your products?
Yep, yep, exactly.
Do you
Yeah,
have
it's
any
ridiculous.
idea how many employees you'd be able to give sick bonuses to with $30 million?
Oh my god, yeah, yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah. That's corporate America for you.
And I mean, if this is a 300 employee strong union, that $30 million would go a long way.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
guarantee they'd never complain.
Nope. Absolutely. Was that your last one?
Yep, that was the extent of what I had.
Okay. Yeah, I had the strike one as well. Good to see that it was only one day. Well,
Yeah,
for now at least.
yeah,
If they don't listen, I'm sure they'll
yeah.
have a big.
Hopefully, it sends the right message, though.
Yeah, exactly. All right. As always, my news. We always start out with the sad stuff to get that out of the way. This I think went up the day after we recorded last week. Tony Todd.
Oh no, that
Uh,
went up. Like we finished recording
oh yeah,
last week's show, and then we're
and then
like,
it went
oh
up.
fuck.
Yeah, Tony Todd, the voice of Spider-Man 2's Venom, among many other roles, including Candyman, passed away.
Yeah, the horror series.
Yeah. Not specifically gaming related, but I think um, it's worth mentioning. Obviously, he was a big influence on the industry and was in a recent video game, so definitely need to acknowledge it. I think he was also in like Star Trek and like
he's been in a bunch of stuff. Yeah, he was in DS9, I believe.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, R.I.P. Tony Todd. Let's get into some very different tone news. Nintendo is on the warpath. I've got 2 articles here of Nintendo going after pirates. This one I found really funny. Gamers sent Nintendo a letter boasting that he had 1,000 burner channels to stream pirated games from and could do this all day.
Yeah.
And now Nintendo has sued him for millions of dollars.
Yeah, come on,
I love
man.
this one. What an idiot. Nintendo has sued a gamer for streaming a pirated Nintendo game such as Zelda Echoes of Wisdom before their official release date. As reported by Polygon, Nintendo filed a lawsuit in Colorado court against Jesse Kynan? Who cares what his last name is? AKA Every Game Guru, accusing him of not only streaming 10 Nintendo games before they came out, but telling his viewers how to obtain them. The list includes The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, Super Mario Party Jamboree, and Mario and Luigi Brothership. According to the lawsuit, the dude obtained and streamed leaked Nintendo games at least 50 times since 2022 and provided links to the Yuzu and Ryujinx emulators for viewers. Yuzu and Ryujinx are both now terminated by Nintendo. I think we may have talked about that on a previous episode. Nintendo alleged these actions amounted to trafficking in illegal circumvention devices and insisted they caused millions of dollars worth of damage through lost video game sales. I don't think so. I get that they're protecting their IP, but that's definitely not true.
They're gonna try and say it's the worst possible thing, but it's not that bad.
These people were never going to buy your game. I'm sorry, they weren't going to buy it,
or they are and they just can't yet because it's not out yet.
Yeah, well, that's true as well. Or maybe it has something to do with the fact that you guys never drop your prices. Could possibly be that. I'm just saying. Did I mention last week that they have what was it? Oh yeah. New Super Mario Brothers Wii U is still $79.99 max price.
Did. Yeah.
It makes me so mad.
Yeah.
That's just asinine. God of War from 2018 is like $10. But you're gonna charge me $79.99 for a Wii U game? Yeah. Fuck off. Hate that shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought that was really, really funny.
Like I am generally against Nintendo throwing like everything at one person, but in this case, like the dude was.
You asked for it.
The dude was asking for it. No one has ever asked for it harder.
I got a bunch of Pioneer accounts. I could do this all day. Yeah. Oh shit! Don't sue me.
Yeah, it's like you're poking the beehive. And it's like, what do you think's going to get you're going to get stung.
Yep. It reminds me of Elon Musk when he went on that show and was like saying like talking about his advertisers not wanting to advertise on Twitter. And he was like, fuck y'all. If you don't want to advertise, then don't. So then they didn't. And then he's like, well, I'm suing you.
Yeah.
Like, what? You said to go away. Man. Don't talk shit. Don't talk shit. It's a bad idea.
Yeah.
The other Nintendo lawsuit didn't end up being, I don't think, a lawsuit in the end, but Nintendo tracked down an alleged Switch pirate using a combination of Reddit posts and repair orders.
Yeah.
As reported by GameFile, Nintendo sued James Arkbox Williams from Arizona for allegedly violating its digital copyrights by selling pirated copies of Switch games. Also something you really should not do. Why are people so stupid? I don't get it, man.
Yeah, like it's one thing. It's one thing. Like here's the other thing. Again, I don't support Nintendo or any of these companies going after a single person. But if you're selling bootlegs,
you're instantly fucked.
Like
Yeah, you're
it's
instantly
one
fucked.
thing to tell people where they can get them for free when
or
you're
to play them yourself.
when you're making money off them.
Yeah.
No, sorry, man. I'm not
Yeah,
going to be in your corner for that. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
you fucked up.
Like,
according to the lawsuit, Nintendo hired a law firm called Mitchell Cyberberg and Nup, who knows, to investigate online pirate video game stores and found a user called Archbox or Arcbox. It traced to Arizona. It then spotted a Reddit user called Arcbox, who was a moderator of the Reddit the subreddit, I guess, Switch Pirates. Based on their posts, the law firm was able to identify Arcbox as James Williams. Williams, it turns out, had various Nintendo accounts associated with email addresses, which were also tied to repair orders.
Oh my god.
Yes, Williams, an alleged Switch pirate, actually made 2 repair orders with Nintendo tied to his address in Arizona. As you'd expect, cease and desist letters followed, one of which came just 2 days after they sent him one of his repaired items.
OPSEC, man. OPSEC. Come on.
They should have sent it with the repaired items. Like, here's your Switch back. Oh, by the way, we're suing you. The pirate shops.
You gotta keep that shit separate.
That's so funny. The pirate shops
r/Switch piracy. Give me a fucking break.
I can't even believe that Reddit allows for.
It sounds like a made up story. Like,
yeah, it's that bad, right?
How can people be this stupid?
Oh, well. A combination of bad parents and social media. and just dumb people.
Yeah.
The pirate shop's Arcbox was allegedly involved with include Jack in the Shop, Turtle in the Shop, and Nico Drive, which were all shut down following a cease and desist Nintendo sent in March. I can't believe there's pirate shops. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you not think you're going to get taken down? Like,
well, the idea is that you open up shop, fulfill some orders, and then close down, and then repeat the process and try to stay one step ahead.
It's like, just go get a job. Like, I don't get it. The defendant became a leading, if not the primary, moderator of the Switch Pirates Reddit community, which he helped grow to nearly 190,000 members.
Jesus Christ.
Since 2019, the defendant has posted thousands of comments and messages to the group. His posts have included, by way of example, messages directing users to the pirate shops and offering technical advice and encouragement to other users about how to use the pirate shops, how to download and install circumvention software, and how to play pirated copies of the games. Nintendo now has a default judgment in their favor after Williams failed to plead his case in court. So he didn't even show up.
Yeah.
Well, you're fucked, buddy.
Yeah, look, people, if you're ever called to court, show the fuck up.
Yeah, you should probably go.
There are a few things you can do that are worse than not showing up.
Oh, we're having technical difficulties.
Oh, God.
Uno momento.
Uh-oh. Did we just...
I think it's me.
Did we just hang?
So I'm just going to talk to myself, because I remember
a blank stare.
That I'm still being recorded. So I'm just going to wait
I guess
here.
We'll find out.
Silently? No, not silently.
Sure
I'm talking to myself.
Lose this recording.
For my internet to come back.
Just over
It's actually
here,
not my internet.
Trying to keep people entertained. Till it gets back. Maybe I'll just scroll social media and read out the skeets that I get. Maybe that'll keep people occupied while we wait for normality to return. So let's see. What's going on the... Uh-oh. There he goes. Uh-oh. I guess I gotta keep this going. Let's see. Anything interesting from the people I'm following? Half-Life 2 is free to own on Steam. Offer expires November 18th. Huh. That's kind of cool. Let's see. Anything else neat?
And I'm back.
Here comes Trevor. He's back.
I was talking to myself for a while, and then it actually fully cut out. So I'll have to see how the recording dealt with that.
It might just be both of us talking to ourselves while we try to stall for time.
It could be. Yeah, we need a plan when that happens. Like who talks? The disconnectee or the disconnect or the...
Well, I don't even know. I don't even know which one of us was actually the one that was gone.
Oh, it was definitely me.
Oh, it was definitely you? Okay.
My laptop has this weird issue where all of a sudden the Wi-Fi card just stops working.
Oh, okay.
And I can tell because if I go to where you click on to get all your Wi-Fi available connect networks to.
No, it just says no.
There's nothing there. Yeah, it just doesn't even let you. Yeah, it's like the card is disabled. So I just have to wait about 30 seconds and then it comes back. It's never happened before on the show though, so that's great. Another sign that this laptop is not long for this world.
No, we had another. Well, maybe it wasn't the same issue, but we had another episode where he just dropped out.
Yeah, it wasn't the same issue, but yeah.
That was a different one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what that one was. I think that was an actual like internet glitch because I was still connected.
All right. Well, my BlueSky break is over.
I don't know where we got cut off, so I'm just going to move on to the next news article.
Yeah.
I think the last thing I heard you say was, if you get called to court, go. And then that was it. But yes, if you get called to court, go.
Go.
Yeah. Otherwise, you could be.
It does not reflect well on you if you ditch your court date.
Yeah.
For anything.
No, you're just asking for more trouble.
Yeah.
All right, this one's not gaming related per se, but it's definitely super interesting and kind of scary.
Is it that Sony is still selling Concord merch on the PlayStation Store?
That one is just sad. I wouldn't say that's scary. That's just sad. No, entertainment empire Disney is in search of a new CEO. And a new report suggests that a familiar face from the world of video games could be in the running.
Oh, yeah.
The always impeccably dressed CEO of EA, Andrew Wilson, is reportedly being considered for Disney's top job. It's a big move in the entertainment world with potential ramifications for fans of Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, The Sims, Battlefield, Dragon Age. The list goes on.
Wouldn't it be wild if instead of him, it was like Peter Moore?
I like Peter Moore. Where's he been?
I like Peter Moore too.
Yeah, where's that?
He's retired. He's been retired for a while.
Oh, that's a bummer.
But he'd probably be good at it.
What's the name of the current Disney? Bob Iger. Yeah. His contract runs out in 2026, so it's going to be a while before we know for sure. But interesting thing. I don't like the idea of him being in Disney because he's just going to corporatize that company even more.
Well, I mean, how much more corporatized can it possibly get?
I mean, Marvel's falling apart. Star Wars is dying.
What's he gonna do? Add fucking loot boxes to Disney Plus?
In order to watch this movie,
yeah, I shouldn't even joke about that. He might do it. Say, hey, that's a good idea.
There is good news that could come out of this, and that's that we might get someone in charge of EA that gives a shit. So
wouldn't that be the day?
Wouldn't that be amazing? EA just suddenly becomes this like amazing company.
When has there ever been someone at the top at EA who gave a shit? Like maybe Trip Hawkins, but even then.
Back in our day when it was not called EA, when it was called Electronic Arts, they were pretty decent. Yeah. And when in the early EA days, when
I guess they weren't like objectively evil.
No,
they were just kind of.
They were a mid-tier developer and publisher. They weren't amazing.
It wasn't as bad as it is now. That's
no, definitely not. No, and I mean, and I would even say EA was good during what era would have been? Well, it was whenever like they had like EA Sports big. That era of EA was pretty good. Everything after that's very questionable. But I thought that was interesting to note.
Isn't that also around the same time they shut down Westwood?
Yeah.
So it wasn't all good.
No, that's a good point. That was, yeah. I mean, EA's never been perfect. That's for sure.
No.
All right, next up. Microsoft has confirmed plans to release an Xbox handheld, but that it's probably years away.
Yeah, it only took them like 20 years to get definitive on that, because there was talk of an Xbox handheld like years ago, back in the original Xbox days. They were kicking around the idea.
I think it makes the most sense now. They'll make a Steam Deck equivalent.
Absolutely. It absolutely makes more sense now.
Yeah.
It would have been a crazy thing to do back then.
Think about it. A combination Windows, Xbox, Steam Deck, basically, is what they're going to make for sure, right? With Windows built in. I mean, holy crap, that's that could be a seller. Don't have a whole lot to share about it. It's just in an interview with Bloomberg, Phil Spencer, the gaming boss at Microsoft, said the quote expectation is that we would do something in the handheld games devices category, but such a device is a few years out. Microsoft.
Then again, given Microsoft's track record on mobile devices, oh god, it's happening. It's the thing that I prophesized would happen before we started.
Yeah.
This is going to lead to a Windows Phone rant. I can't do it.
Nope.
I can't.
Stay away.
It's going to sidetrack the show way too much.
Spencer said it's currently working on prototypes and considering what it might do, with his team developing its vision for a handheld based on what it learns from looking at the market. So obviously looking at Switch 2 probably, and looking at whatever Steam Deck 2 looks like, which I'm kind of surprised there isn't a Steam Deck 2 already. Seems
well. There's an OLED model.
Yeah, but it's basically announced. Steam Deck 1 just with a better screen.
Yeah,
but they haven't released an actual like beefier Steam Deck, which is interesting.
I mean, they're probably waiting for hardware that is powerful enough to worth making an upgrade to also get cheap enough that they can sell it at the same price.
Yeah.
That the Steam Deck did when it launched.
Yeah, even like a Steam Deck Pro, like a mid-tier kind of upgrade. I'm surprised they haven't done, but
maybe.
But it's Valve. They beat to the what is that? They march to the beat of their own drum. So.
Yeah, they also probably don't want to get bogged down in a bunch of SKUs where they're like, we've got 15 different models, because they've already got like 3 models, right, with the different like storage configurations, and then they've got the OLED one coming out. Like that stuff gets complicated really quickly.
Maybe that's what I should get instead of a gaming PC. Just get a Steam Deck.
Yeah, maybe.
It would save me a lot of money.
Yeah.
I don't need it to be, 4K, super ray traced. Like, I don't need that. I'm a console gamer. I'm already used to, having the lesser version.
Sure.
So, yeah, I'll think on it. Maybe by the time I'm in the market for one, Steam Deck 2 might be out. So
yeah, that's true.
We'll see. Or maybe the Xbox Steam Deck will be out. We'll see.
Yeah.
What are they going to call that? The X Deck?
Maybe. And they couldn't possibly come up with a dumber name than Xbox. So
that was a good name. They used DirectX, and it's a box.
Yeah, but that's stupid.
Couldn't call it the X Cube or the X Station.
It's not as bad as the Wii, I guess, or the Wii U. That's probably the worst name.
Xbox I'm fine with. It's all of the subsequent names that suck. Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox Series.
Xbox One is the worst. Xbox One is legitimately worse than Wii U because
I think Xbox Series is the worst. Like what? Xbox Series X. What?
It's too much. It's word salad.
It's so stupid. Awful.
Have you ever used one of those handheld gaming PCs before?
I've held one. I've held the ROG Ally, but that's about it.
Yeah, I've played a little. I've played a little bit of Forza on an ROG Ally that was at a Best Buy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. That's exactly what I did.
Oh, you probably
played the same exact one.
Yeah, the same exact unit.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, I was actually really impressed with how well Forza ran on it. I did not think it was going to look or run that smooth.
I probably wouldn't play it in handheld mode most of the time. I'd probably just hook it up to my TV. But
yeah,
so basically Spencer has confirmed that there will be another Xbox and that they are working on the handheld, so
maybe it'll just be the handheld, who knows?
Yeah, that's possible.
Just work for Nintendo.
Have you seen their new ad campaign?
Yeah,
this is an Xbox.
This is an Xbox. Yeah, which is also like leaning me towards like maybe they're just going all in on the service thing because they've still got X Cloud, right? Their cloud gaming thing
they do.
That they haven't launched, but they keep talking about.
Is that different from what they have now? Because I've played cloud gaming on Xbox.
Wait, it is out?
Maybe I assume so. Yeah.
I thought that it wasn't. I never heard of any like, yes, this is launched.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
no,
weird.
yeah, it's yeah, I'm pretty sure it is because I can cloud stream any game on Game Pass.
Okay, I'm gonna look this up right now because if that launched and I didn't hear about it, I'm gonna feel really fucking dumb. So tell me, Wikipedia, am I stupid?
X
Let's find out.
xCloud.
xCloud Gaming.
It's in beta.
Oh, it's okay.
But it is out. Yeah.
So it's out in the sense that PlayStation Home was out.
I mean,
no, maybe not quite like that because Home was never going to come out.
I don't know why they're calling it a beta because it works great. So I don't know.
So that you don't have any expectations of it.
I guess so. Yeah.
So that if
cloud gaming's come a long way.
any problems, I can say, I guess, but it's still
not perfect.
Like it's never going to be as good as just playing it locally. You're always going to have like the laws of physics dictate that there is always going to be some latency.
Yeah, the games that I've played on it, I try to play games that are not twitchy. I try to play like turn-based RPGs.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah, although I did play a racing game and it worked great. You still get that pixelation every so often.
Yeah, from the video compression.
Yeah, but it's more than playable. There's very little. I mean, if there is latency control, I didn't notice it. I'm sure professional, crazy hardcore gaming people.
Yeah, well, it says here that they run the games at 120 hertz, even if they don't send it to you at 120 hertz, so that it has faster input.
That makes sense.
Or like less input delay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not my preferred way to play games, but it's a cool thing.
For as a way to like just test the waters, I can definitely see it being a useful thing because it's like, hey, it's like Game Pass, but you don't even need to install the game.
Yep. Yeah.
I could definitely see it being useful like that, but I wouldn't want to exclusively play a game.
No. I agree. What's our time? Oh shoot, the timer reset.
Oh no.
Oh no, does that mean it's going to be in 2 different recordings? Oh.
I think it's going to be in 2 recordings.
Oh.
No, we're like 90 minutes in, I think.
Maybe I have the timer 45. Still up, so I know
okay.
I know what our timestamps are. Shit, that might suck. I might have to send you those things to stitch them together.
Oh dear.
We'll have to see what that's like. Okay. Next up. Despite buying Activision Blizzard for $69 billion just last year, Microsoft definitely wants to be in the market for more video game acquisitions.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Which is crazy. In an interview with Bloomberg, Phil Spencer said he's up for buying more companies, although cautioned that nothing is imminent and big deals are off the table for now. You think you just spent $69 billion. I think you should chill for a little bit.
Come on, man. You can't lose the gaming business if you buy the gaming business.
Yeah, there's no need to buy anything up. They said so. If Microsoft does open its wallet once again, what might it spend its billions on? Spencer said deals that add geographic diversity would be worthwhile. So I'm assuming they're referring to Japanese developers, probably Chinese, maybe Korean. Yeah. Apparently Microsoft's eyeing buying up another mobile company. Not that I care, but
yeah.
Though
maybe that's a plan for their handheld. Buy up somebody who's got expertise developing in the mobile space.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be the worst idea in the world, assuming that they hadn't spent, billions of dollars on Activision.
I still personally consider the mobile gaming space not a gaming space, but
I mean it's a different type of gaming space.
It's very different.
It's a gaming space for people who like color matching games and stuff like that, which is fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's just it's a very different aspect of the industry.
Yeah. All right, next up. Stellar Blade is coming to PC in 2025, and the dev expects more sales on Steam than on PS5. Of course, why wouldn't you?
Can I be brutally honest?
What?
I did not know that it wasn't on PC.
Yeah, PS5 exclusive.
I just assumed that it was.
Nope, just like with Black Myth Wukong. Actually, no, Black Myth Wukong
it is on PC.
Is on PC, yeah. I don't know. But it sold more than 2 million copies in 2 months, which is fine.
That's fine.
IGN gave it a 7 out of 10. I played the demo. I didn't like it. I thought the controls were infuriating. And the controversy surrounding the game drove me absolutely batshit crazy.
That was the stupidest shit in the world.
Oh my god, you guys won't show her titties?
Like, you mean this character who's nearly naked already is slightly more covered up? Oh no, how horrible! I will say, they did say that they weren't going to change outfits, and then they did. They shouldn't have done that.
No, don't say things and then change your mind. That's don't
do that.
Just zip, and then get your game out.
Yeah,
but
as far as changes go, like who the fuck cares?
Sony is all about censorship. You guys are morons. Yeah, straight up morons.
The internet is available and will allow you to view titties at any time.
If you need your titties, I could be looking through Stellar Blade.
I could be looking at. You know what? I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to do it right now. I'm just going to. Here we go.
Oh God, I'm scared.
Yep, there we go. I got titties. Do you see how fast that was? It was so quick.
Yeah,
there's so many titties on the screen right now. Look at them all different sizes and shapes. I'm not joking. I just typed in, Pornhub. Boom, there they are. You see how quick and easy that was? You don't need to get them from a video game, guys.
That was good.
Super easy.
Yeah. If you need them from your video game, you got other problems that you need to be attending to.
You know how in Terminator, when they show the war scene in the future, and it like the tanks are going over like the skulls, the internet is like that, except instead of skulls, it's titties.
They're everywhere.
It's just a road paved in memories.
Oh shit!
And it's not lasers that are being shot. Pew, pew, pew. I'm gonna stop now.
Yeah, let's do that.
We're gonna get age restricted.
We already are age restricted. As soon as you swear, we're age restricted.
No, but I mean, like, you're gonna have to sign in to YouTube to watch this one.
That would suck. Okay. Yeah. So, look forward to Stellar Blade with no titties in 2025 on PC. For those that care.
Well, no, this will be the one that has titties because it'll have mods.
This is actually a fact. This is true. All right. More from Blizzard. In addition to announcing Warcraft 1 and 2 remastered with whatever the crap they did with 3, they also announced World of Warcraft Classic is getting another expansion. This time with Mists of Pandaria. I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss. It's no longer Classic. It's just a lagged behind version of World of Warcraft now.
It's like, you remember that South Park episode where they found the guy frozen in the ice who'd been there for 2 years?
Yeah.
And it was like, culturally, he was still in 1998.
Yep.
That's what World of Warcraft Classic is. It's just behind by a few years.
It's just behind. Like, I don't understand. Like, are they gonna do a third wave? Yeah. You know, at a certain point where they're like, all right, we're so far away from vanilla now, we got to do a vanilla server.
Here's what they should do. Here's what they should do. They should just have a vanilla server, and then a Burning Crusade server, and then a Lich King server, and just one for each iteration of the game.
I think the problem is that I think the idea was that they were going to do that, but then they realized that the player count was not high enough to support it. They would divide it between too many expansions.
What's the point in doing it?
Well, because all the people doing it this way, you are bringing forward all of the people that are in Vanilla Classic, so they're all playing the same game. But dividing them between 6 expansions might be too much.
Now they're going to be pissed that it's not vanilla anymore, and it just defeats the purpose.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I bet you $1 million that they're going to announce like another Classic wave, and it's just going to start back at the beginning again. And they're just going to have waves.
At this point, just say, you know what, fuck it. uh, vanilla Warcraft, you just go to a private server. Just go to a private server that's permanently locked in vanilla, and
I mean, they could
just
do that.
whatever.
Just have a.
We don't care. We don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and do
Yeah.
it. We don't want to manage this shit any longer.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand. I just don't. I wonder what their. Yeah. The only thing I can think of is that their classic player count drops over time, and then every time they put a new expansion in, it goes back up.
But that's such a like.
Why aren't those people just playing the current version then?
Yeah, like I don't understand the players in that case. Is like you wanted classic Warcraft. What are you dropping off for? Isn't this what you wanted?
No, well, it is what they wanted, but they're too stupid to realize that they're.
The
game
now
ends.
We've done everything.
Yeah.
We've done everything.
Exactly.
Now we wanted more, but you complained when they changed it. It just fucking.
Yeah, it's a never-ending no-win situation.
Yeah.
And finally, on
cascading series of
yeah
of just bullshit.
Yeah. They also announced a bunch of stuff about the new expansion Midnight coming out. It's gonna finally
whatever.
After how long's WoW been out? 20 years.
Yeah.
They're finally doing player
20 years
housing
this year. Yeah, a thing that Ultima Online had at like the second expansion, I think.
Very
or
strange.
Maybe even the first.
I don't get
maybe
it.
Even at launch. I don't remember.
Well, I mean, at launch in vanilla, there was these instance portals in the cities that were blocked off by like a gate, so you couldn't go through them.
Yeah.
And no one ever knew what they were for, and everyone always just assumed that that's future housing.
Yeah.
And then it took them 20 years to take advantage of them. It's like, why?
It's the easiest thing to implement. You just have an instance
per player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because look, the way that Ultima Online did it is unsustainable because you put the player housing within the game world, and what happens is all that wilderness that you go exploring in, it just becomes urban sprawl, and then you've got nowhere to explore other than the areas that are off limits to housing.
Yeah,
and you also end up with people not being able to get a house because they got in late or whatever. So just having an infinite series of apartments that just exist outside the game world and are their own instance is the way to do it.
Yep, 100%.
Well, I will say, Shroud of the Avatar, which, like I said before, is kind of Ultima Online 2, and also a game that I kickstarted, full disclosure, does let you have player-owned towns. And because it has a separate overworld map, you could just keep placing towns on the overworld. And you could even have just signposts that teleport you to a town that doesn't physically exist on the overworld. Again, it's just a separate instance. So that's another way of doing it. But that's not really how World of Warcraft is built. So
no.
But like Final Fantasy XIV has had it for fucking ever.
Yep. Yeah, pretty sad. I don't understand. I just I don't understand why it took him this long. It's very weird. Final Blizzard news. Blizzard job ad confirms upcoming open world shooter is in the works, and all signs point to it being a StarCraft first-person shooter.
Oh, are we finally going to get StarCraft Ghost?
Well, that would be a third-person shooter, I guess. But
well, they could make it first-person.
They could. As spotted on Reddit, on November 13th, Blizzard posted a job ad for an associate design director and innovation on an unannounced game. The description reads as follows. As the design director of innovation, you'll be the vision holder and owner of key strategic innovations on an upcoming open world shooter game. Yeah, what the hell does that even mean? That sounds like such bullshit. Like just tell me what I'm doing. What am I doing?
Bunch of gobbledygook.
I hate, man, as someone who's in the job market, reading some of these frickin' job postings, I'm like, just tell me what I'm gonna do.
Vaguest bullshit.
Yeah, I hate it. I'm like, just tell me, what am I gonna do every day? That's all I need to know. I don't give a shit about this.
How do I know if I'm qualified for the job I'm applying for?
Yeah.
Or is this just vibes based? Do you just interview people and say, yeah, okay, that person seems chill?
Yeah. You will be the vision holder and owner of key strategic innovations. You will be the vision holder and owner.
It doesn't stop being ridiculous.
It's so stupid.
The vision holder.
The vision holder and owner of key strategic
like
innovations.
The name of a boss from a Warcraft expansion.
Yeah. You are the vision holder.
Alarius the Vision Holder.
So weird. Who writes this shit?
12th General of the Lich King.
Right?
Revived from the Underdark to take his revenge.
Maybe it's an open world shooter in the Warcraft universe. There's bow and arrows everywhere.
Oh man,
although they have guns in Warcraft, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. You stay current with the latest developments in both the indie and AAA space. David Bowie is quoted as saying, "Go a little bit out of your depth, and when you don't feel that your feet are quite touching the bottom, you're just about in the right place to do something exciting."
Fucking putting a Bowie quote in the job listing.
What is happening? The idea of innovating...
Somebody got really high before they wrote this listing.
Right? Well, it is Blizzard. The bro unit. The idea of innovating in the deep and excites you, balanced with a pragmatic desire to turn dreams into reality that players can get their hands on and enjoy.
Now this sounds like a fucking horoscope.
It's terrible. The blurb confirms Blizzard's plan to release an open world shooter, but what is it? In September,
does it though? Because it sounds like some guy's like random ramblings when he's really stoned.
Yeah. It does say an upcoming open world shooter in the blurb. But in September, it emerged that Blizzard was reportedly making a third attempt at developing a StarCraft shooter with former Far Cry executive producer Dan Hay, who joined Blizzard in 2022. The news came from Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier while speaking to IGN's podcast Unlocked about his new book, Play Nice: The Rise, Fall, and Future of Blizzard Entertainment. Hay's StarCraft shooter...
It's a first-person Blackthorn.
That'd be a callback.
Yeah.
Hay's StarCraft shooter is mentioned in the book, and IGN's Ryan McCaffrey asked Schreier if it's likely to actually come out. Quote, "If it's not canceled, this is Blizzard. After all, their history with StarCraft shooters is not good." Yes, that is a project that, as far as I know, is still in development, or at least as of the time I wrote the book, was in development. They're working on a StarCraft shooter. StarCraft is not dead at Blizzard.
How about they just make Warcraft 4?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that's not a thing yet, honestly. It's kind of weird. All right, let's move on from Blizzard. I'm tired of talking about that company.
Yeah. This
one's pretty interesting. Every week we seem to be talking about a new financial report from the big companies, but we got another one.
Yeah.
This time, Embracer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they provided a financial update and delivered its verdict on its recently released games. Embracer, who bought the Token IP in 2022 for $395 million, which is an absolute steal, by the way.
Yeah.
How is that?
Yeah.
How is Activision Blizzard bought for $69 billion, but Lord of the Rings and the Tolkien IP sold for $395 million?
Because you're not gonna get 15 copies of the Silmarillion in a frat house, but Black Ops 6, easy.
Okay, hold on. Bungie sold for $3 billion.
That I don't have an answer to.
That one was just stupid.
How many people are playing Destiny 2?
Not enough to make up for $3 billion. I can tell you that much. They said the Lord of the Rings Return to Moria's Steam and Xbox launch in August performed slightly above expectations.
That's a new one.
Yeah. It's not a great game, though, apparently. It's kind of like...
Maybe that Shire game will pick it up for him or something.
Maybe. Free Range's survival and crafting game first launched on PC as an Epic Game Store exclusive in October last year before coming out on PS5 in December. While we're on Lord of the Rings, Embracer said Middle-earth Enterprises had a slow quarter year-on-year with no notable new partner releases, but a higher film revenue than expected. Whatever that means.
I like this idea. Oh, yes, it had slow growth. Yeah, because the author's fucking dead.
Yeah, and you didn't do any new movies or anything, so...
Yeah, oh, the Tolkien Enterprises hasn't had much growth. Yeah, the dude died in, the 70s? 1976 or something like that?
Yeah, and they haven't... Well, I guess they had... what's that show? Rings of Power.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. 73, by the way.
Yeah, it's been a while. Embracer said it's seen encouraging fan reactions to the marketing it's doing for the December release of anime Lord of the Rings: The War of Rohirrim, which does look pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
Embracer had a brutal QT for PC and console games with tough comparisons from last year's Remnant 2 and Payday 3. The most notable new release this year was Disney's Epic Mickey Rebrushed late in the quarter. Was I can't speak, man. I'm exhausted. Well received.
How is that an Embracer game?
I think they own the Epic Mickey series.
How does Disney not own it?
That's a good question.
Maybe they acquired the studio that made it or something.
Well, that's definitely possible. They bought
They
everyone.
fucking they fucking own every. Well, they actually divested someone just recently.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be in the report, actually.
Yeah, it probably will. I forget who it was exactly.
Epic Mickey Rebrush was well received by players, but initial digital sales were slower than expected. I played the demo. The game wasn't that great to begin with, so I don't really understand why it was remastered.
I think people were into it more for like the art aspect of it, which like on the Wii, yeah, was pretty strong.
Yeah. In contrast, Satisfactory's 1.0 launch on PC performed above management expectations. Coffee Stain Studios' first-person open-world factory building game had over 200,000 concurrent players in September.
Mm-hmm.
I've always wanted to get into that game. I have it. It's so daunting. It's so
OCD simulator.
Yeah. Embracer had endured a tough time in recent years, laying off thousands of staff. We already know all this shit. I'm not going to go through it again.
We did a whole episode about it.
Yeah. As for the rest of its financial year, Embracer is pinning its hopes on the hotly anticipated Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which is said to be still on track for its February 11th, 2025 release date.
Is that hotly anticipated?
I think so.
I don't see
I mean, it's hotly anticipated for the people that like the first one.
Sure.
I don't think it's a game that we need to see, though. Like, it's like, we know what it is. And so do the fans. So I think that's why we're not seeing anything about it, because it's just like...
Yeah, they've got their market.
Yeah, their market's pretty clamped down.
Yeah.
And if it gets any bigger, it'll be because of word of mouth.
Yeah.
It still owns Metro developer 4A Games, which is working on a brand new game in the series. I didn't know that. I thought they...
Oh, yeah, there's so many fucking Metro books.
Oh, that I know. I didn't think they were going past Exodus.
Infinite source material to draw from.
For sure.
They'll be able to make those games forever if they want to.
Embracer's tabletop games company, Asmodee, is still up for sale.
Seems like it'd be weird to sell your tabletop division when you own all these franchises that you could turn into tabletop games.
Yeah. Especially nowadays, like tabletop games are becoming
good. A Lord of the Rings tabletop RPG would probably go over really well.
Other Embracer games in the works include Deep Rock Galactic Rogue Core, Fellowship, I don't know what that is, Gothic 1 Remake, Hyper Light Breaker, Killing Floor 3, Reanimal, Satisfactory on consoles, Titan Quest 2, Tomb Raider 4 to 6 Remastered, and Wreckfest 2. So they got some good stuff coming.
Well, I don't know about that Tomb Raider 4 to 6. No. Is that gonna include Angel of Darkness?
I think that's 5.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll make it good this time.
Embracer? All right. Just a couple more here. Atomfall, dubbed the British Fallout, has a new release date, March 2025. That's across PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and is straight into Game Pass, which means I'll be able to tell you about it. Because if it comes to Game Pass, I can talk about it. That's all I have to say on that one.
Yeah.
Microsoft confirms the Spyro Reignited trilogy is now available on Game Pass.
Why that wasn't there the moment the Activision purchase cleared, I will not understand.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Seems like an easy thing to get because it's already on Xbox.
Yep. I thought this one was really cool. Good Old Games has started a game preservation program. Did you see this?
Yes.
The GOG preservation program ensures classic games remain playable on modern systems even after their developer has stopped supporting them. By maintaining these iconic titles, Good Old Games helps you protect and relive the memories that shaped you, DRM-free with dedicated technical support.
Yes, I love to hear that.
And they are at 100 games in the program already, including the original Diablo with Hellfire,
Mm-hmm.
Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, the originals, and many, many more. So very cool. Very cool. If you want, if
Let me
hmm?
let me look this up because I'm wondering how this program works. Like specifically, what is the what is the technical process? Is this like a wrapper or something?
It doesn't, the
Uh,
webpage for it is pretty bare bones. So
well, because it looks like it's a on a per game basis.
yes, it is.
Um, and it does appear to be added a potential fix for mouse issues for real this time. Uh-oh, your first patch didn't work. That happens.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it looks like this is on a per game basis. Like they say here for Heroes of Might and Magic 3, fixed windowed mode in all versions through the use of D-Draw Compat, which I'm guessing is like a wrapper. Yeah, it would have to be something like that for all these different titles. They basically have to, because they don't have access to the source code for these games. They're a distributor. They'd also need permission to do that. So
Yeah.
this would probably be the kind of thing where it's like, oh, we bundle it with a front end that helps it run. Like how when you buy a DOS game on Steam, it comes with a pre-configured DOS box executable for running it through that. Which I mean, yeah, okay, great. I love the sound of that. It's going to be a lot of work, but I'm glad they're putting that
Someone's
work
doing it.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
because otherwise the fans have to do it, which is how they've been doing it so far. And that's not so bad when the source code for a game is out there. Like when when you have something like the Doom engine, which has been open source for like 25 years at this point, then it's fine. But a lot of these games, they don't have a source code release, either because they didn't want to release it or because the source code is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at this. They've got Ultima 7, the complete edition, for $8.19. You said that you'd never played an Ultima game before.
I was just about to say it looks like their Black Friday sales are already on because there's some
Yeah.
crazy deals on there right now. Disco Elysium is $8 as well. It's crazy.
Oh wow. I mean, Ultima 7 is actually a game that already has a pretty good. It's not even a source port. They just a group of fans just basically cloned the game engine just by observing how it works.
Yeah.
And built a modern version that runs on Windows, provided you have all the original files you can supply it with. And it's great. It's got all sorts of quality of life improvements. But yeah, if you want to buy Ultima 7 without having to go through fucking EA's bullshit,
yeah,
you can do it here.
Roller Coaster Tycoon is only 95 cents.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, there's some crazy deals on. Check out Good Old Games. They are a fantastic website. Oh, SteamWorld the Heist. Oh, DLC. Okay. I was going to say, if SteamWorld Heist was 83 cents, I'd be pooping myself right now. That's a great game.
Yeah, you could get the original Warcraft without the bullshit.
Yep.
Ooh, Dragon Sphere. I like that game. That's a good one.
What if Monster
XCOM
Train's
UFO
on here?
Defense.
Monster.
Oh, they even have a Calibeth. Huh. Oh man. Do they have all of the Ultima games? This is turning into browse good old games and just vamp about it.
The card game I recommended, Monster Train, is only $6. I would highly recommend that.
They have Ultima 4 for free.
Yeah, they do. I noticed it was in my library.
That's about as good a deal as you're going to get on that game.
Yep. All right. Final piece of news is the updated PlayStation Plus game catalog for November 2024, which goes live, I assume, on the 19th. Pretty big update here. So let's get into this. So, yeah, November 19th. Definitely true. So, coming to PlayStation Plus game catalog. For some stupid reason, Grand Theft Auto 5 coming to PS4 and PS5. Dying Light 2 coming to PS4 and PS5. Highly recommend that game. It is fantastic. Highly underrated. Go play Dying Light 2. It's great. Absolutely great. Like a Dragon Ishin, coming to PS4, PS5. MotoGP 24, PS4, PS5. An add-on for The Sims 4 because reasons. Why? Like, why? I hate when they put DLC as one of the free games in the catalog. Like, why? Why DLC? It's weird. Digimon Survive for PS4. Overcooked, All You Can Eat, PS4, PS5. Stick Fight, don't know what that is, PS4. Clash Artifacts of Chaos, PS4, PS5, don't know what that is. Killer Frequency for PS4, PS5. That's an interesting one. That's a game where you play a radio DJ and there's a murderer on the loose in the city and people keep calling into your radio station who are being hunted by him, and you have to like find blueprints for the building that they're in and guide them around the building to try and save them.
But couldn't the killer then be listening to the show?
Yeah,
and,
it could be.
I see a problem with that premise.
Yeah. Pretty funny, though.
Also, here's a throwback. That blister I developed when I walked over to your place a few weeks ago. It's fine, but the layer of skin just separated right now.
Wow, why are you talking about this on the show? You are a disgusting human being sometimes.
Well,
I literally heard our entire audience gag all at once.
Well, no, it's not like a gross thing. It's not.
That's
like
not a gross thing. Just skin separated from my foot.
No, it's not. It's not like there's pus or anything.
Oh no.
No, I just thought it was funny because that was resolved like weeks ago, and now it's like, oh no, I'm puffing up now for some reason. Well, it's because I took a shower.
Yeah.
But it's like I thought it had fused back, and it's like, no.
Nope.
Guess what? You've got a bubble on your foot.
Yeah, that was like a month ago. How do you still have that?
That's why I'm saying it's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. I think you need to go to the doctor.
Well, no, I don't, because it's fine. It doesn't hurt or anything. It's just, my body was like, hey, remember this thing? It's back, but not really.
Well, this was a sidetrack.
Human bodies are strange, man.
Yes, they are. They are very strange. Also coming to PS4 is Hungry Shark World, whatever that is. And Chivalry 2 for PS4 and PS5. For PlayStation Plus Premium members.
Oh, is that it's
like the night game.
First person night combat game?
Yeah. I've played it. It's It's fine. It's not...
You can chop off people's heads, and when they die, from their perspective, the camera spins around and lands on the ground.
Yeah.
That's a nice touch.
It is. The gameplay is just so basic
for something so horrifically violent.
It's a very popular game. Same thing with Mountain Blade. That's very popular as well, and I just don't understand the popularity of either of them. But to each their own. Enjoy what you enjoy. Yeah. Coming to PlayStation Plus Premium, Synapse for PSVR 2. For some reason, Blood Omen Legacy of Kain was delayed until November. It was supposed to come out in October, but it's now out this Tuesday. Blood Omen 2 also joining the ranks. And out of nowhere, Resistance Fall of Man and Resistance 2 is joining PlayStation Plus Premium.
Isn't Resistance 2 supposed to be really good?
It's very different from the first game. So the first game is basically... Have you ever played like Ratchet and Clank?
No.
Never mind then. I have nothing to compare it to. But they're very different games. Resistance is very like, try out these cool, crazy weapons, and you don't have regenerating health. You know, it's a very classic first-person shooter in that sense. You got to find med packs and stuff like that. And then Resistance 2 is more like Halo. Regenerating health. And...
Yeah, the only one of those PlayStation shooter franchises that I played was like one of the Killzone games, which visually looked incredible, but had really weird lag on the controls. And just
probably Killzone 1.
No, because it was on the PS3. Wasn't that a PS2 game?
Yeah. PS3 was Killzone 2 and 3.
Yeah, I don't remember which
I'm
one of those it
assuming it
was,
was
but
2 then, but I liked it.
maybe.
Two is one of my favorite PS3 games.
I was like moving the stick to turn around, and it was like a full second delay. It felt like I was like, okay, well, I can't play this. That's it.
Yeah, it's
I don't care
polarizing.
how good this is. I can't have that.
Yeah, it's polarizing for sure. I loved it, but it's not for everybody. So yeah, the catalog for this month is it's okay. Dying Light 2 is a huge one though. Definitely play
I
that.
feel like we bring up Dying Light every other show.
It's great. It's a great 2 games, man.
It just always seems to be somehow in the news that we talk about.
It's constantly
Like
updated. I mean, the game now is
yeah,
completely. It's so different from when it came out. So polished and so much added content. It's crazy. It really took off as like a multiplayer hit, co-op hit. So
yeah.
all right, that's it for the news, ladies and gents. Which means it's time for the topic of the week. Which this week is bad games or flawed games that we love anyway.
Yeah, here's a fucking bad game. The game I played of trying to come up with titles for this list. And here's so I told you that I would have something to say about this,
Yes.
and here it is. So the reason that I had so much trouble with this one, and the reason why we've put it off for so long, because we have a list of titles or topics for shows. This has been on the list for a while.
I think it was like the third one on the list from like...
it's been there for a long time, and I was like, I don't want to do.
I might be stiffening up
because it happens. We've been doing this. We've been at this for over 2 hours.
Well,
now,
the
I think
chiropractor probably didn't help.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, so my problem is that the idea that there is a bad game that you enjoy is, to me,
an oxymoron.
An oxymoron.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because if I enjoy it, then it is obviously not bad. And that's not saying like I have incredible taste. I mean, I think I have incredible taste, but that's because it's mine. No, I'm saying if you find enjoyment in it, then it obviously can't be a bad game. It might not be a great game, but I don't think it's outright bad.
Yeah.
It has problems, but I don't think it's like you're never going to be like, let me put it like this. You're never going to be like, oh, I really like Shaq Fu. Nobody likes Shaq Fu because Shaq Fu is a bad game.
Yeah.
It has bad controls. It's a fighting game with bad controls. It is a bad game.
Yeah.
But if you're like, oh man, I really like, I don't know, what's a fighting game that doesn't have bad controls but isn't amazing?
Mortal Kombat.
Like Clay Fighter or something.
Oh, Clay Fighter. That's a good one.
Yeah. It's not a bad game. It's just not Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, I went into this with flawed in my mind more than bad.
Yeah.
Like all of my games, there is something very wrong with all of them. But yet they somehow entertained me. And a lot of these, I don't think many of these, I don't want to say many, but I don't think there's a lot of these that people will be like, that wasn't a bad game. But I will specify why it's on the list, obviously.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is that, like, there are just so many video games that if I find one that doesn't jive with me, I just play a different one.
Yeah.
So it's like trying to even think of one is hard because it's like, no, this doesn't work for me. Out of mind. Move on to
for sure.
Else.
Especially these days. I think there's only one modern game on my entire list. The rest are at least 10 years old minimum.
Yeah. So I'll just get mine out of the way.
One.
Raw Danger. Yeah.
Raw Danger. Yeah, that's a very flawed game.
It is an extremely flawed game. Like, at an objective technical level.
Yes.
Super, super flawed. It feels like a first year PS2 game, but it actually came out in like 2005 or something.
Yeah.
So it is a jank ass game, but like, it brings me a lot of joy, partly because of the jank.
Yeah.
But also just like it's so goofy and it doesn't take itself seriously like I cannot call it an objectively bad game.
Yep.
Subjectively, there are areas of it that are fucking terrible.
Yes.
But like it's not a bad game overall. It's just
deeply
not
flawed.
Great.
Yeah.
It's not great,
yep.
but it's not like a lost cause, and I have fun with it.
Yep. My first one is Viking Battle for Asgard. This was
I haven't even heard of this.
So
this is a PC game, I bet.
No, it was. I mean, it may have been on PC, but I played it on PlayStation 3. So this was when Sega had that new IP V program. Do you remember this? Where they made several games that all started with V. So this was when they made Vanquish, and then there was Viking, and then there was one other one. Oh, Valkyria Chronicles.
What's the full name of the game?
Viking Battle for Asgard. This was the third one out of their trilogy of games, and it was definitely the worst of the three because, like I said, there was
I don't even recognize this cover art.
Yeah,
what the fuck is this?
Yeah, so there was Valkyria Chronicles, and then Vanquish, and then Viking Battle for Asgard. I don't know which order they came in, but it was this weird program where all three of them have the exact same main menu. Like it's just a logo swap. The text is the font's the same, the logo's the same, all that shit.
It's like a universal Blu-ray disc menu.
Yeah, they're identical in every way.
It's just the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was. You could tell it was like part of some sort of like a new IP program where they're like, we need to get new IP out there, and it didn't work for this one.
Oh, this is my Creative Assembly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
this is the Alien Isolation and Halo Wars 2 guys.
Yeah. So it's a third-person action hack and slash kind of a game.
It sure looks like one.
Yeah. The all three of these games kind of had like a gimmick, I would say, that made them stand out. So like Valkyria Chronicles, it was all about the very unique gameplay and its amazing art style. With Vanquish, it was all about, I'm a freaking mech that can slide, and go into slow motion and shit.
Sliding, shooting.
Yeah.
And
for this one, it was,
stuff.
You take place in battles with like 100 dudes on screen at the same time.
Oh my god, this looks like the most generic action.
It is. It's very generic.
I've ever seen.
And when you get into those battles with 100 people, the frame rate drops to like 10 frames per second.
There's a prompt here to like rip something out of the ground, and it's just a giant B button icon that's pulsing.
Oh yeah, it's awful.
It's the most intrusive button prompt I've ever seen in my life.
It is. And those fights are so slow because of the bad frame rate. But they are so fun because it's just pure rage. It's just one of those games that lets you just let it out. Yeah, and you just go into this field of 100 dudes, and you're just like, I'm just gonna start killing. And the violence is really cool. It's got really cool animations of like lopping off heads with your axe and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm watching some footage of it, and I saw a guy get split in half from like a stealth kill.
Yeah.
Which the stealth system in this game appears to be
not good.
Crouch walk.
Yeah, it's not good.
And stay out of line of sight.
Yeah,
like the most basic stealth system you could have.
The gameplay outside of the large scale battles is like a means to get to the large scale battles. Everything outside the large scale battles it's not fun. It's not good.
This doesn't even look like a PS3 game. This looks like something that would have been on the original Xbox, graphics wise.
I don't know. I think it looked pretty good on PS3.
I mean, it's not that it looks bad, but it doesn't look up to the quality you would expect from the PS3.
No, especially not with the frame rates. Frame rate's awful in those battles. But
the video I'm looking at is recorded from the PC version, which is presumably being played on a computer that can handle it.
Weird,
because the frame rate on the PC version here looks fine.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I can absolutely believe this would chug on the PS3.
Yeah, it chugs like a mother. But it's so fun. It's just stupid fun.
I guess. It just looks super generic.
Yep. That's the point of this list. These games are deeply, deeply flawed, and yet I love that game. So fun.
I do like the ponytail physics, though. It's bouncing all around. I can, as someone who has long hair, I can confirm if you have a braid like that, yeah, that's basically what it does. It just bounces around and smacks you in the face.
Yep. It's good times. All right, what's
Yeah.
your next one? How many did you get anyway?
Well, I only had the
Oh,
one.
you only had the one. You couldn't think of any other
Yeah.
ones than Raw
I
Danger?
couldn't I couldn't think of anything
What
else
about
that I
Disaster
felt
Report?
that is Disaster
Oh, that's the
Report.
first one?
That's the second
Oh
one.
my god.
They retitled it
What
Raw
about
Danger.
what was it? Deadly Premonition?
I don't know if I'd say that I enjoy that.
Oh, okay. All right, that's fair.
That's bad enough
All right.
that I do. That's a game that is fun to look at and laugh at, but it's like it's a pain to actually play because it performs so poorly.
Well, you know what's awesome is that you had 1 and I have 9. So it works out perfectly to 10.
Fucking yeah, that's great.
So I might
This
as
is
well.
also why I did some of the lifting on the news today because I knew I was going to bring in
That's all right.
a whole lot of games for the topic.
That's all good. All right. So yeah, Viking was my first one. My second one might be a little controversial. Just putting it out there. But Bomberman 64.
No, I don't. So okay,
The campaign sucks. It's awful. It's terrible.
Wrong.
Oh, it's awful.
Hard disagree.
Oh, it's terrible.
I like it.
Oh, it's atrocious.
I like it a lot.
The only reason I ever played that game was the multiplayer, because the multiplayer is super fun.
Yeah, okay, now here's the thing. Here's where we're in agreement on. Yeah. The multiplayer is fantastic.
Oh, it's beautiful.
But it's Bomberman.
Yeah.
It is a multiplayer
with fantastic maps. Like I love the one with the water. Where you're going up on the multiple levels and docks and stuff. It's so good.
Yeah, and the fact that it's 3D is like, yeah, it's the perfect, like it's literally next level Bomberman.
So good. Yeah. But I hate the campaign. I think it's trash.
I love the campaign. I love. I really like the way that they incorporate puzzle solving into it. Because the thing about Bomberman Hero was that you could jump, and that felt like it took the puzzle solving out of it. Because Bomberman 64 has you like dropping bombs, and then when you land on a bomb, you bounce. So you would like create these pathways of bombs that you could bounce across, and that was how you got across gaps. I liked it.
Fair. I think it was trash, but
the multiplayer was definitely better.
Yes. My next one is the newest game on the list, and I highly doubt you've played it, but many did and many hate it. Anthem.
No, I haven't played that.
Yeah. I picked it up.
It wasn't out long enough for me to play.
Oh, it's still out. You can still play it.
Yeah, but they're not adding anything to it.
No, but I mean they don't need to. The game's complete enough. I don't think anyone need. I never subscribed to the idea that this game needed to be a live service game. It's fine.
I guess. I mean, the flying looks kind of cool, but it seems to be all it's got going for it.
The co-op's super fun. I don't know. The thing that people crapped on in this game was the way the numbers work and the damage numbers work is like very like fake, I guess.
Yes.
Yes. But that doesn't take away from the fact that it's fun.
Yeah, but doesn't it mean that you spend like a really long time just chipping away at the health bar of something?
Not that I found in the time that I played it.
I mean, did you play it at launch or after they'd patched it?
Oh, much longer after they patched it. Yeah,
then maybe they fixed it.
Yeah, I picked it up for $2.
Oh Jesus! Well, yeah, sure, for $2, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I remember like looking at the reviews at launch.
Oh yeah,
seeing like the health bar tick down like 1 pixel.
Yeah, everything was damaged sponges and stuff. Yeah, they fixed all that stuff. But
yeah, like if they had made this, like I'm looking at footage of it right now, and I didn't even know you could go underwater. That's I guess a thing.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Maybe if they had promoted that, I would have had any interest in it. Yeah, this is the kind of game that probably would have been fine as like, you know, just like a single player or just a cooperative open world game.
This is one of the first games that came out where it was like, what, you're taking a single player developer and you're making a multiplayer game? That seems stupid.
We gotta do a live service. Yeah.
This was the first casualty, I think, in that line of thinking.
Yeah.
The next one.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at some combat, and enemies. I just saw a grenade kill a bunch of enemies, so that they definitely fixed the damage scaling.
Yeah.
This actually doesn't look that bad.
No, it's fun.
Because this is one of those, hey, I played game in current year type videos that YouTube is full of, and Yeah,
It's fun.
it looks like they made it a decent game.
Yeah.
If only it had launched that way.
Yeah, well, I mean, they didn't fix the end game stuff that people complained about.
No.
So, like the damage numbers not making any sense and stuff like that. They didn't they didn't
Yeah.
fix that. But I find it fun. So the only thing I didn't like about it was the fact that the classes are locked. So like at the beginning,
Yeah.
you can only pick one, and it takes a
Yeah.
pretty long time to unlock the second, third, and fourth.
Yeah, it sucks to invest that much time and then find out, oh, my playstyle is better suited to this other thing.
Yeah.
Hey, would you believe that one of the recommended videos here is I tried to play Star Citizen, so you don't have to?
That would be on my list if I played it, probably. The next one we have talked about substantially on this show, and we may disagree on this. I think the game is very bad, very deeply flawed, and that's why it's unplayable to this day. You cannot buy it anywhere. You cannot. You have to have the console that it came out on in order to play it. There's no other way to play it that I'm aware of. But you and I love it.
Oh, yes.
Brute Force.
Yep.
That game, from an objective point of view, is terrible. The aiming is not great. The graphics are not great. The frame rate is terrible, especially in split screen. And yet, somehow,
it's really fun.
It's really fun, for at least for you and me.
That's a pre-Resident Evil 4 game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This was when aiming still sucked in third-person shooters on console.
Yeah, so like it's that I can forgive because it wasn't until like Resident Evil 4 came out that everybody was like, "Oh, this is the way to do it." Yeah. So I can forgive that for it.
Yep.
In retrospect, Brute Force isn't as good as we remember it being, but it's fine.
Yeah.
See, this is why I wouldn't put this on the list, because I'm like, there's not enough in here to make me go meh that I would put it on this list.
I just objectively understand that very few people like the game, and if you look at a bunch of reviews of the game, they dump on it all the time. So
Edge gave it a 5, EGM gave it a 6.6,
and people that go back and play it are like, why was this a thing? Nothing made it special.
Well, it was a game that was exclusive to this new console. It was exciting to have something.
And insultingly is not on the backwards compatibility list.
Yeah.
So insulting. Yeah. Same thing with Mech Assault. Just insulting.
Yeah. It does work on emulator though.
Oh.
Kind of. It's very slow.
I own the game, so
Oh, so you don't even need to worry about that.
No. But I need an Xbox though, an original Xbox to play it, or a 360, I guess.
I got an original Xbox.
Yeah, does it work?
I haven't booted it up in a while.
Yeah. Mine died from the power cord recall.
Oh problem. Yeah.
All right. Next up, this one might surprise you. I don't know if you ever played it. Fable 3.
Oh, yeah, I didn't play Fable 3, but I did play
very few people
1.
did, and there's a very significant reason for it. Fable 3 is objectively flawed from a core game aspect, and that is the entire premise of the game is that you become king, and you have to make decisions constantly throughout the game that affect your kingdom.
Yeah, that's the one where it's like your brother is the king and he's a terrible king, and you're like, I'll lead the rebellion to overthrow him. And it's like, hey, the reason that I'm a terrible king isn't because I hate people. It's because the evil forces of darkness are going to come, and I have to make hard decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
What we're going to, which narratively is a neat idea.
Yeah, it was a very cool idea, and having to make decisions for your kingdom is very cool. Until you realize deep into the game, probably like 60 to 75% through the game, that the game is completely broken. You can farm and do enough quests to make enough gold to where you can make both choices on every single choice that is presented in the game.
Yeah.
If the entire premise of the game was making difficult decisions, then why did you let me have the option of making both choices?
Yeah.
I got to the end of the game and I had made both sides of every choice at the end of the game.
Yeah, I remember the reviews basically saying the same thing. Like, hey, we found out that you can just grind and get super buffed up,
and it's not even difficult. It's not like it's not like in order to do it you need to spend 200 hours playing the game to grind. It's like I just played the game naturally and just did all the quests and spent, a normal amount of RPG time in it and came away with that conclusion. So fundamentally that game is flawed by design. But yet I loved it.
Are they ever going to come out with that new Fable game they've been threatening to make?
Yep. Yeah, by Playground Games.
It was like that.
It's supposed to come out next year.
There was that trailer where like the fairy got eaten by the frog.
Oh, you didn't see the two after that?
No.
Oh, yeah, the two after that were really good. They showed actual gameplay, and yeah, it's very different from Fable. It's like you live.
That trailer came out like 6 years ago or something.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's very long.
But the idea of the game is completely different from the classic Fable games. Basically, you live in a world of fables. It's not like Fable where you're in Albion and it's just a world of magic. It's like you're in a world of fables. So like the first trailer is like an interview with this guy who you eventually realize is Jack from Jack and the Beanstalk. And your player walks into the kitchen.
Not to be confused with Jack of Blades from Fable 1.
No, definitely not. They don't actually say Jack or Jack and the Beanstalk, but it's very clear from the aesthetics and everything that it's Jack from Jack and the Beanstalk.
Did you ever play that fucking Kinect Fable game?
Or the giant from Jack and the Beanstalk? Is Jack the giant or is Jack the guy that climbed the thing? I don't know.
No, Jack's the boy.
Jack's the boy, not the giant. So yeah, it's the giant from Jack and the Beanstalk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the reveal is that your character is standing 2 inches tall on the kitchen table. And he comes up and he's like, gets right in your face, and then it's a boss battle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks pretty cool, and it's got humor. It's very funny. I would recommend going to watch the trailers. I'm surprised you haven't seen those.
Yeah, I'll probably do that when we're not recording the podcast.
Yes, you should definitely do that. All right, but yeah, Fable 3. Objectively flawed game, but I enjoyed it anyway. It's my favorite out of the 3, surprisingly, despite that flaw.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next one. Zombie U.
Oh, yeah.
The Wii U game that was basically... I don't want to say it was the best third-party Wii U game, but it probably was.
Yeah. It made use of the gamepad in like a cool way.
Yeah.
And not just like, hey, here's a second screen.
No, in order to look at your backpack, you had to look down at the screen. And you had to continuously look up at the TV because it doesn't pause.
Yep.
So you'd have to be like, shit, is everything still okay? Okay, we're good. And to go through your inventory. Very cool. But it's a deeply flawed game for 2 reasons. Number one, the controls are awful. There's a delay on the sticks that is just terrible. It's atrocious. You talked about Killzone 2. It's worse than Killzone 2's delay. It's awful. Dear. And because you have to
I wonder if that's like a VSync thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because VSync can make that happen.
Not sure.
Because it has to wait for the frame to be drawn before it draws a new one. And it makes it feel like there's a
lag.
It depends on the game, depends on how fast your frame rate is going, but like I always turn VSync off because I notice it really, really easily. Yeah. And it always throws me off.
Yeah. And especially in a game with melee combat, it was the focus.
Yes.
It made it really difficult. I did adjust to it eventually and had a lot of fun with it, but I constantly was fighting that bad lag in the controls. Yeah. But it was still scary and still really cool. Awesome concept, all that good stuff. And then the other big flaw in the game is that it's super short. It is ungodly short. When I was done it, I was like, oh, it's over?
Yeah, well, that game has permanent death, so
yeah.
I think the idea is that it becomes longer because you have to keep starting over.
Yeah, which
and you kind of learn your way.
Yeah.
But if you already know the game,
yeah,
it's not going to be.
No, it's very short.
That
bad. We got three more. Which one do I want to go with? I'm going to go with Rainbow Six Vegas 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Definitely ranks low on Rainbow Six fans' favorite Rainbow Six games.
Yeah.
It's the first. I think it's the only Rainbow Six games that are in third person. The rest are all in first person. I'm pretty sure.
No, it's in first person.
Rainbow Six Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. So it's both. So
yeah, when you're peering around corners.
Yeah, when you're in cover, it's third person.
It does the same thing that Deus Ex Human Revolution does, where it goes into third person to give you that peripheral vision.
Yeah, and then over the shoulder.
Like, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then when you're not in cover, it's first person. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But man, the frame rate in that game is atrocious.
It's really bad.
It's really, really bad.
Really, really bad.
And it also has a little bit of that controller lag too.
Yeah, it's also got like network lag really bad in some places.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I love that series because there is so few good SWAT tactical games.
Yeah.
Where you're actively commanding units that it rises to the top for me because I've played SWAT 4 and it's basically just like it's not even there's no story. It's basically just, hey, here's a map. Go in and there's the enemies are in procedurally generated locations, so you'll never know where they're gonna be.
You and I played a bunch of Rainbow Six, the original, on the N64 back in the day,
which is good. I like it,
with that.
But it's also one of those games where it's like you do a lot more planning than playing.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I was like, I need to be able to command these guys one for one while I'm playing, because that's how they do it in real life. Yeah. Like they don't. Yeah, they come up with a plan.
It's a challenging thing to map that kind of input to a game controller, though.
Yeah, but I think it works great in Vegas if the frame rate was good and the controls felt better.
Yeah.
You know.
You know what really impressed me about Rainbow Six on the N64 is that when you did split screen mode, they didn't chop your field of view. They actually expanded it, so you got like super widescreen when you did. So you could it was actually advantageous to play that game in split screen because you got to see more of
your peripheral vision. Yeah,
it was the best way to play.
Yeah, it was a good game.
Yeah,
weird that you couldn't see your guns though. I will say.
Yes,
very weird. I don't know why it creates a tactical sensation seeing your gun, but it does.
Mm-hmm.
My last two. This one was on a recent episode of Electric Playground Classic. Jet Force Gemini.
Yeah.
For N64. That game does not hold up well. And in retrospect, the game kind of sucks. Cool art style, cool premise. I mean, you're three characters in space fighting giant ants and saving these little bear creatures from giant ants. It's very weird.
That game suffers from a few problems. One of which is that it is not even remotely the only N64 game where that is the premise.
Yeah.
And also, like, it has the problem of getting compared to its predecessors. And when your predecessors are stuff like Banjo-Kazooie, it's a rough comparison, man.
Yeah. But it was fun at the time. Yeah. I really enjoyed the multiplayer. It was pretty fun as well. We got to play as the dog and the other two characters. Pretty cool. Memorable music. Memorable game in general. I'm kind of surprised it never got like a reboot of some kind. It was just kind of like thrown in the trash.
Yeah.
A little bit weird.
Well, it's not really remembered as a franchise. It's just that one game they did that one time.
Yeah. And then finally, my last one, I would be shocked if you've heard of this one. And it is called Whacked, with an exclamation mark on the end. Whacked.
Let me look that up.
This was WHACKED. Whacked. It was for Xbox. original Xbox. It may have been for other platforms, but I played it on OG Xbox.
Yeah. I've never played this, but I'm pretty sure I saw it on store shelves.
Yeah, so it's basically a third-person arena brawler, I guess is the best way to describe it. You play as a wacky character, and you play in a level, and there is power like weapons strewn about the level, and they're all crazy stuff. The most memorable of which is a baseball bat. Um, and there's two ways to kill your opponents. You either knock their health down until they die, or you can knock them off the stage. The stage has like pits of death, basically, that you can throw them into. And the baseball bat sends them flying directly where you hit them. So if you hit them, they're going to go straight back as far as they will go until they hit a wall, basically. And if you can find a way to hit them off the stage, then it's like an instant kill. Yeah. And the fun part about the game was doing that constantly. Like all bats mode was really fun. A bunch of the weapons are really crazy. It's got like almost a Ratchet and Clank style weapon system where it's all funky weaponry. And the characters are really funky. The cinematics are hilarious. If you play the campaign, which yes, it does have a campaign, the cinematics are hilarious. Like I can't even begin to explain how funny they are. You need to just.
It looks like it has a campaign in the same way that like Unreal Tournament 3 has a campaign.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a framing device for just multiplayer with bots.
Yeah, the idea of the game is basically you're on this game show. You're just on a game show that's kind of like Smash TV, where it's just you put all these people in an arena and you got to kill each other, ha ha ha. But it's all crazy characters, Muppet type characters. This is so funny.
And some naked chick with perpetual sensor bars.
Yep. Go on YouTube and watch like all of the cinematics from Whacked, and you'll just laugh your ass off. They do commercials, like fully made commercials that are played during the show. Oh, it's so funny. It's so fun. But it is flawed. The big flaw of this game is that the camera is locked behind your character, and your character's in the center of the screen.
Oh, you mean you can't freely rotate the camera?
So as your character turns, so does your camera with your character. So it's very tanky, and a lot of players get nausea from that type of camera. And
you can't be doing that.
To make it worse, there's a couple of power-ups in the game that give it a fisheye effect.
Oh yeah.
So fisheye combined with that control is
There's no strafing or anything in this?
Not that I remember.
Do they do the thing where they put the strafing on the shoulder buttons? Remember when they used to do that?
I feel like it doesn't have strafing. I feel like it's just forward and backward, but
and turning. No, you can't do that.
I could be wrong. I don't remember strafing because there's no guns in the game, really.
Yeah, there's projectile weapons.
They are, but they're not like you're not aiming it at the character. You're just aiming it in the direction of the character, and they kind of like bounce around. It's just to create chaos, basically. But super fun game. It's super fun if you don't get nauseous from the way the camera works, which is a huge barrier to entry. But it's so fun, so hilarious. I've laughed. I don't think I've laughed harder at a game than Whacked. Really funny game. All right, that is topic.
I wonder how long it took for somebody to create a mod for the game that removes the sensor bars.
Well, I think the sensor bars are only in the cinematic, so.
No, I'm watching gameplay, and they're definitely there.
You sure you're watching the same game as me? Whacked.
Yeah.
Sensor bars.
Yeah, like the woman with the blue hair, strutting around, shooting missiles and shit.
Oh, I want to play this game again. Oh yeah, the bunny. The bunny was so fun. The bunny has a Scottish accent, and it's just so fun. Oh, and Toof, the orange guy. He's just he kind of looks like the first boss from Super Metroid, the plant, the green plant that just goes.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like that, but he's orange. Oh, and the girl with the ponytails, she kind of looks like Angelica from Rugrats. Oh man, now I want to play this game. It's so funny. Oh yeah, the sensor bars. Yeah, now I see what you see. Yeah, so funny. Yeah, I think it was Xbox only.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, highly recommended if you don't get nauseous from that stuff. Super funny game. All right, you know what that means.
Yes, it is time for 20
It is
questions.
indeed
And you
time
have
for 20
you
questions.
have selected the game.
I have selected the game, sir.
You selected it before we
I
started.
literally 2 hours and 25 minutes ago. So let the questioning begin.
Okay, so I guess, as always, the first question will be: was this game released on or after January 1st, 2000?
Yes.
All right. Was it released on or after January 1st, 2010?
No.
All right. Do I want to split the date even further? Let's see. Maybe. Was this released on or after January 1st, 2005?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, anywhere from 2005 to the end of 2009. Um, is this a is this game exclusive to a platform?
Um, it had a brief exclusivity. Yes.
Okay.
I can't mislead you by saying yes because
Right.
it might throw you off too far. So it's the best I can
Okay.
do.
Um, was this game developed by a Japanese company?
No.
Um,
That's 5.
yeah. Was this game available on the Xbox 360?
Technically,
Technically.
technically, but not officially. It's
Technically, but not officially. I mean, I guess that could mean like backwards compatibility. What was this a game on the original Xbox?
yes.
Okay. Um, was it on either the GameCube or the PlayStation 2?
Yes.
Okay, so we are looking at a multi-platform game
Ow.
that was part of the backwards compatibility program, but it would have been a late Xbox game because it's 2005, or at least sometime during or after 2005. But I'm going to say it's probably around that time because they stopped making Xbox games and moved on to 360 games pretty quickly. Is this a licensed game?
No.
Did this game have online multiplayer?
No. That's 10.
Okay. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to knock some off this. Was this game on the GameCube?
No.
Okay. Because there were a lot of games that were on PS2 and Xbox, but not GameCube. So now I know it's not one of the ones that was on all three. So that knocks that there's a whole bunch that's gone from the list. It can't be Gauntlet Dark Legacy.
I will say I do find it strange that it wasn't on the GameCube. But
oh yeah, there were plenty of games where it was weird that it wasn't on the GameCube. Having a thought. Was this a racing game?
No.
Okay. I was like, there's no way he's going to make it Burnout 3. That's too easy. But he might make it Burnout Revenge. Okay, but it's not a Burnout game. Okay.
I might throw you a curveball one day and make it a super easy one, but
yeah.
The day's not today, sir.
The problem is because it's a narrow it down with 20 questions. That'd be really easy to get.
Yeah,
that's the problem with that stuff. Okay. All right. We have a very narrow window. So. Let's see. Was this a sports game?
No.
Okay. I hope that didn't pick up in the microphone, but if it did, that was my spine.
I thought it was the chair.
Is this a game where you shoot things?
No.
Interesting.
I might have to look at some footage. I don't think there was any shooting in this, but I'll double check.
So that means it can't be Oddworld Stranger's Wrath. It can't be Cold Fear. There's a lot of things it can't be now. Well, it never could have been Gun Valkyrie because that's exclusive to the Xbox. And it can't be any of the GTA games because you shoot the shit out of stuff in those.
Yeah, I don't think there was any shooting in it. If there was, it was like a very minor.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a core part of the gameplay.
Definitely not.
Yeah. Like so my thing on that is that like if I was thinking of Final Fantasy VII and you said do you shoot things in that game, my instinct would be to say no, even though Barrett technically has a gun. Yeah, it's like
I'd have trouble with that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it wouldn't. My first thought.
I would say technically. I'd be like
technically, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it can't be Beyond Good and Evil because that was on GameCube. Can't be Prince of Persia because those were on GameCube. Oh, yeah, and it couldn't have been Burnout because that had online.
The Beast is awake. Hi, baby. Hey. I see you.
Man, I'm really 14 into this already.
Yes, you are. You've gone faster than normal. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, yeah. This is where the part where it slows down because now I'm working through titles in my head trying to
Yeah, four questions
eliminate
and a
them.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got 4 questions and a guess. Yeah. What?
No, if I'm at 14, I've got 5 questions and a guess.
15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, yeah. 5 questions, I guess. Yeah, sure. Right.
Math.
Yeah, math's fun, especially when you're
Yeah.
exhausted.
Yeah. um, it can't be Robotech Invasion because you shoot shit all over the place in that game, and it has online play. Um, Jesus, maybe it's the Guy game.
Would I have to check if there was shooting in the Guy game?
No. I'm gonna have to. This is not a serious question, but I'm now considering asking: was this game withdrawn from sale because it had an underage girl get her shirt off?
I have to look that up.
Well, if it was the Guy game, you wouldn't have to, because that's absolutely what fucking happened to that game.
Yeah. Oh.
It can't be BMX Triple X because that was on the GameCube, and I guess it's technically a sports game.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
if you count
technically sports.
Riding a bike around and looking at some titties to be sports.
This is the titty episode.
Yeah. Just hit that microphone. Now it's the kitty episode.
That death look.
Yeah. I am really struggling to think of an Xbox game where you don't shoot things. Oh, man. And an Xbox game after 2005 that doesn't have online multiplayer. Shit. Oh, this is tough. Was this game released by EA, Activision, or Ubisoft?
No.
Oh, that narrows down a lot.
That's 15. Now you have 4 questions and a guess.
Why am I hungry? I ate before recording this.
I'm actually kind of hungry myself.
It's not Drake of the 99 Dragons, because that was an Xbox exclusive, and you shot stuff. God, an Xbox game where you don't shoot things. What about platformer games? Were there any platformer games that were on the Xbox and the PS2, but not the GameCube? Man.
I was just checking to see if I have this game, but I don't think I do.
I'm trying to go through shit. I used to know a lot of the games that were on the 360 backwards compatibility list, but it hasn't mattered for a long time. It's not sports. It's not racing. Shit. I used to know so many Xbox games, but I just haven't played any while. It can't be Crimson Skies because that's exclusive to the Xbox and you shoot stuff. Oh, come on. Come on, there were so many games that were Xbox and PS2. Why am I struggling to think of any?
Because it was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
20 years.
Yeah. I played so many different games during that period. And most of them I played on the Xbox. Because I didn't have a PS2 back then.
You went with Xbox over PS2, eh?
Yeah, because it had Morrowind.
Oh, yeah.
That one game is what made the decision for me. Oh, man. Problem is, it's like all the Xbox exclusives that are coming to mind. I could name those all day long, but it's obviously not that because it's on the PS2 as well. And then, like, all the games I can think of that are multi-platform that I would be able to think of off the top of my head are all shooters or racing or sports games. It can't be Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance because that was on the GameCube. Good game.
Was it?
But not
I never played it.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine. It was kind of like Diablo.
Hmm.
A non-Japanese game that wasn't about shooting, racing, or sports. Fuck. You can't be 50 Cent Bulletproof because you shoot all the time in that game. That game opens with you getting shot 9 times. They made a game based on the time that 50 Cent got shot in real life.
One of the bullets is still in his tongue. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, he got shot in the jaw, and there's a shrapnel piece that's in his tongue.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That actually explains why he sounds kind of mealy-mouthed sometimes.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
He explained it in an interview that I watched a few days ago, actually.
Oh.
That's why he's got sort of a, I don't want to call it a lisp, but.
No, but he definitely, it does sound like he doesn't have full control over his mouth.
Yeah.
He does kind of slur his words together sometimes, and that perfectly.
Yeah, it entered here and went to his tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was on like the what's that British show? Graham Norton? Is that it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was on that show, and he was with 3 other celebrities like they normally do on the couch, and he was telling that story, and the lady beside him was like, "Can I touch it?"
No, people look.
He said yes. He went and,
really.
Yeah, someone from the audience gave him a like one of those sealed naps.
Oh, okay.
And he put it on his tongue and then grabbed her hand and was like,
"Oh,
yeah."
I'm not gonna lie, that game was actually okay.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was a good rental.
Yeah, that's a great way of describing it. It was a good rental.
There's so many games that I would love to rent today. Why can we not rent games anymore?
Yeah.
The fact that you can't rent games on the PlayStation Store and the Xbox Store and Steam is
yeah, that feels like a huge missed opportunity.
Like, why not? Yeah, it's crazy. $5 a day. Go.
Yeah.
People would do it. I'd do it just to test games.
I would do it all the fucking time. Not having to commit to purchasing a game. There are so many games that I don't buy just because I don't know if I'll like them. And I've been burned enough times that I just can't.
I mean, I guess Steam
trust myself to.
Steam doesn't matter all that much because they have a good return policy.
Yeah, but even so.
But like PlayStation doesn't have a return policy at all. You can't get your money back for games on PlayStation.
Yeah.
I don't know if Xbox has a good return policy, but anyway, 4 questions and a guess, sir.
Yeah.
I think you might be stumped.
I'm feeling pretty stumped.
Throw out some random questions. See if anything helps you.
I don't even know what to ask. This is see, the problem here is that I don't have a huge knowledge of like the PS2 library compared to. So it's like, what was on both?
There are questions that might help you if you ask them, but
yeah, there are, but I just got to figure out what they
which
are.
ones are which? Yeah.
I need to get some more genre stuff out of the way. What's a game? I'm struggling so much to think of an Xbox game where you don't shoot or race. Shit.
You can give up. It's you know.
I'm not gonna. No, giving up is stupid. If I'm gonna what's the point of giving up? Like, what's the point of even playing the game if I'm gonna give up?
To go eat.
That's true. That is true. You make a really good point there.
The second we're done, I'm going to eat and then I'm going to bed.
Yeah, absolutely.
My back is it's done for the day.
Yeah, take an Advil or something.
Yeah, I think I probably will.
Yeah. Okay. Genre. Okay, I just got to think of a genre. It can't be The Sims because that was on GameCube. I'm still going through titles.
Look, a tree has grown in the background while you've been.
Yeah.
Look at
that. Is this a platforming game?
Partially.
Partially.
I wouldn't personally call it that. Some might.
Wait. Do you have psychic powers in this game?
Yes.
Uh-oh. 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 Was this game developed by Double Fine?
Yes, it was.
It's Psychonauts.
It is Psychonauts. You son of a bitch.
There we go.
Yes.
As soon as you said partially platforming, I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, I couldn't remember where they were shooting in it, but there's definitely hand-to-hand combat in it. You like psychic thwap and like whack things. But
I was gonna be really mad if I didn't get Psychonauts. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That would have made me very upset.
Yeah. It also simultaneously came out on PC and Xbox.
Oh, that's right.
That was one of the questions I was surprised you didn't ask if it was on PC. Not that I wasn't aware that if that would help you or not, but yeah, it came out on Windows and Xbox on April 19th, 2005. Didn't come out on the PlayStation 2 until just a few months later on June 21st, 2005. And then for some strange reason, 6 years later, it came out on Mac. and then a year later, after that, came out on Linux. I don't know why.
That's weird.
Yeah. And it was eventually re-released on modern consoles, but
yeah.
Good job.
Hooray.
You are taking the lead on our scores here. Let's see, what are the official scores now? We are. Oh man, you are even. You are 4 for 4, or 4 and 4. 4 losses, 4 wins.
All right.
I am 2 wins, 5 losses. I am way behind you. Way behind you, sir. Yeah. But we'll see what happens next week.
Yeah, I'm going to have to think of a good one for next week.
Throw me a freaking bone, man. I just threw you Psychonauts. You got to throw me something.
I mean, I figured you would get Bubsy.
Yeah.
I was sure that we played that together back in the day.
Oh, probably.
That was the thing.
Yeah. Custom Robo, though. Nope. No idea. Still.
Yeah, well, that one surprised me because it seemed like the kind of game you would have played, and the fact that you'd never even heard of it was like legitimately shocking to me.
Yeah. Never heard of that one. All right, let's wrap things up so that I can go rest my destroyed back.
Yeah.
If you want to check us out on Twitter, we have an official Twitter account at co-op_entertain. But if you want to reach me specifically, you can reach me at TJ-Leo on BlueSky.
Yes, I'm also on BlueSky at ninjas.bsky.social.
And if you want to email...
Yes, if you want to email us, co.op.podcasts@gmail.com.
Yes, sir. Don't forget to comment, like, share. If you click up here, you can subscribe. And if you missed the last episode of Press Pause, a gaming podcast, it's down below. Click on that. Make sure you check it out.
And don't forget, to get the bell on. I can't do an Australian accent.
Yeah, well, I don't know what that was.
Yeah, that was.
I think you're an alien.
Yeah. Yeah.
Click the bell. Well, that's probably more British.
Yeah.
Let's just stop.
We also can't shoot like baskets at fucking some ravine in Africa. So I'm talking about there's a bunch of Australian guys that just go watch them. They make better videos than us.
Son of a bitch. All right. This has been Press Pause, a gaming podcast where we shit on our own show right at the end where no one's listening anymore. Now get back to gaming.